And I believe we are back now live with the Virtual Mini Challenge Season 2. Sorry about that slight delay there, we had a problem with the R-Factor crashing. Not R-Factor, GameStop, sorry. But we're all up and running again, and we haven't missed too much at the top. Simon Keelov still with the quickest time on a 1:38.6, followed by Chris Butcher on a 1:38, also on a 1:38.6. Less than half a tenth in it between those two, so good start of the qualifying session for them. A few drivers that we're expecting to see up there haven't really got themselves right up there yet. Drivers like Eric Strane, who I can't even see in the server right now. But I'll just
Well,
get back onto...
He's currently in 4th, and here he is on track. Oh no, it's just dropped down to 5th. He's just on the back straight. He's on a lap currently, so let's see if he can improve.
Right.
It looks like we might have Chris Butcher and Robert Wiesemuller setting personal best, but Eric Strane is currently not on a good lap. He's half a second down, so he does need to pick himself back up if he wants to get any higher than 5th, but I don't think he'd be too disappointed with 5th. He was clearly very ecstatic. Oh, and we've got Robert Wiesemuller.
Great lap. Didn't look like he had the help of his teammates. I don't think he had the help of his teammates towing him there. I think that's just a very good lap by Robert Wiesemuller. With only a minute to go in this qualifying session, we've missed a big chunk of it, but fortunately we haven't missed that. Very good lap there by Robert Wiesemuller, and he'll be hoping to hold on to that pole position. Let's see if any of the other drivers can, nail those purple sectors and go even quicker. But what you were saying about Eric Strand, I think he would be satisfied enough with a top 6, but he'll definitely be looking, if he wants to challenge for this championship, which I think he's got the capability to do, he definitely wants to be in that top 5 at least.
And yeah, and a few things I've noticed. Look at this. Look who's in 4th. Thomas Matuszewski for THR. Now, he was quite quick at Curitiba, but had major problems in the races. He made mistakes and such. So, if he can keep himself in that top group, he could get a very good result. Not only one of his best ever results in the CPS. I think his best result in the CPS is 4th. And I think that was one of the World Super Tech Series races in Season 1, as we have Robert Wiesemuller currently going fastest in the first sector, Simon Keelov 2 tenths down.
And Dan Allenson.
And Dan Allenson as well, so I don't know if this first sector is poor or something, but well, we'll see now if Robert Wiesemuller can improve on his 38.555. That's almost a tenth faster than his nearest rival, using a lot of the track on the exit there. Toby Davis moves up to 14th meanwhile, and I have the... Oh, anyway, Wiesemuller taking a very short line, and we've got Keelov also up in after the 2 sectors, and no, he hasn't gone faster, so let's quickly jump to Keelov.
Yep, Robert's first sector can't have been too bad, because, I mean, if he's setting a 38.555, it can't have been too bad, and a lot of these drivers are going quicker, so Dan Allenson looking to move up the board, as is the man we're watching right now, Simon Keelov, coming around the final sector. Can he improve on Robert Wiesemuller's 1:38.555?
It's looking neat, but I don't think he had good momentum out of that final corner. It looked a bit scruffy. Let's see, it is a 30. It's pole. He's got it. He's got it.
He's done it. Great lap by Simon Keelov. We're just talking about how the final turn looked a little bit untidy, but he's proved us all wrong. At 1:38.48, brilliant lap by Simon Keelov, the dark horse in this event. Not a member of THR or Ice Cold. Nailing the pole position provisionally, of course, because you've got still Dan Allenson showing purple. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
if that's...
he's in the pits. Don't worry.
He's in the pits. So sorry, ignore that purple from Dan Allenson.
The highest placed person that might improve his lap is David Zafio for Walk Racing. He's also got a pretty good slipstream from Lapi Fernandez. Is it? Yeah, I think he's currently using just the default car.
Oh, he's got traffic though. Is that car going to get out of the way in time? I'm not sure. He's only 2 tenths down though. David Zafio. It's a good lap so far. Oh, they've contact.
He's still on quite a good lap though. If he can just pull this together, he might gain a couple of tenths, but I don't think it'll be enough to actually gain a position.
Yep, he just backed out of that one. That's really unfortunate for him, because that was his final chance to improve his time. But still, a top 8 provisionally is a good result.
Toby Davis has just improved to 11th.
And Robert's purple.
No, he's still in the pits. Xavier, I don't think anyone else is on track actually. I think that's it. Look through the back of the grid. No, everyone else is in the pits, so I think that means that we have a pole position for Precision Motorsport driver Simon Keelov by 700ths of a second. He'll be ecstatic by that. He really will. That's a brilliant pole position.
Yeah, the man who was telling me earlier he would definitely be on for a race win. Eric Tveit hasn't even showed up for qualifying, it looks like, so I think his ambition might be slightly
Yeah, we haven't.
undone.
Oh, sorry. We haven't. Due to the problem, we haven't been able to check the spotter guide yet. So here it is. This is just in number order, so you can see who's your favourite driver. We got some of the big teams there. We got THR, Precision, Ice Cold. Some of the quite large teams as well, and they should all be fighting up there in the top 5. Tom Ely, Eric Strana, that's for Ice Cold in 5th and 6th. Kilo, that's Precision first, and then the THR who are 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So we have 3 teams in the top 6. That's rather amazing. And actually, yeah, and I think we only have 4 teams in the top 7, so that's even more amazing.
Yeah, and in that top 6, it's 5 of the drivers we expected, plus, yes, you could say a surprise, Thomas Matizowski up there in the top 4. He'll be delighted with that, but it was the men that everyone was predicting to be in that top group. Simon Kilov for Precision, Robert Wiesenmuller in 2nd for THR Red, Chris Butcher 3rd, his teammate 4th Thomas Matizowski, and 5th Tom Ely.
Yeah, so let's just go through the grid fully. So obviously, you've said on pole is Simon Kilov for Precision Motorsports as he runs a bit wide. Second place is Robert Wiesenmuller, who is currently 2nd in the championship. Goes out. 3rd is Chris Butcher, teammate to Wiesenmuller. Both of them can get good results here. I can't see why they shouldn't be dominating the rest of the championship. They've already got a healthy margin, so I can't see them not. I can't see them not winning the championship now.
But I think we just need to wait and see if the men like Simon Kilov and Tom Ely, Eric Strand, if these guys can just get in the mix a bit with Robert Wiesenmuller and Chris Butcher, they'll be, if there is anyone to stop the 2 THR red cars, it will be those guys, and we're going to see if that'll happen here today. Of course, they have each other as backup. You could say they can work together as a team, as can the ice cold drivers, to try and make a gap, or just they can genuinely use a bit of team tactics to try and get the best result possible for the 2 drivers. So it's going to be difficult for Kilov to be able to go out and win this race unless he can get a clean start and just drive away at the start, which I think is unlikely due to the massive advantage of the slipstream and of course the driving standard that Robert Wiesenmuller and Chris Butcher put out there. It's really high quality, so it's going to be very difficult for Kilov to win this race, but he's definitely got the pace to do it.
Yeah, and we've also the 2 Ice Cold Racing drivers of Tom Ely in 5th, number 69, and Eric Strana in 6th. He's got the Swedish flag on the top, and he's got the red trim. Then we have Dan Anderson for Walk Racing. I think it's actually, Plymouth? Is it Walk to Plymouth? I think it's the official name of his team. That's a tribute to Eric Plymouth.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right on that one.
That's really quite a good position for Dan Anderson. He got involved in some incidents last round, not entirely his fault, but he can just stay out of trouble here. I think top 10s and maybe a top 5 if things go away are highly possible.
He's ahead of his teammates, and that's what probably his main target would have been, because David Safayu is no slouch, as are the rest of his teammates. So yeah, great result from Dan Allenson. He'll be looking to try and keep it there for the race and at least nail a top 10. And speaking of the race, there's only 1 minute and 50 odd seconds until we go on the formation lap and begin the first live broadcast of the Virtual Mini Challenge Season 2, and I for one cannot wait, because we've seen how amazing the racing is from this series, just for round 1 and through last season. It's just been incredible, and I think just cannot wait to see what this challenge brings us, and to watch it live unfold in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and talking more about the race is the race format. So today we have 2 races, each with a 10-minute qualifying session in front of them. We've already had the first of those qualifying sessions. Before both the races is a formation lap. It's a standing start though, so all the drivers will have to go back to their grid spots. And then we have 2 races. They are approximately 25 to 30 minutes long each one. So obviously, if you do have a problem in the first one, you can very easily recover it for the second one due to the second qualifying session and, well, the second race. I think we'll have to go through the rest of the grid on the formation lap, starting with Chris Dark, who's one of the THR drivers. So,
he had a very disappointing first race, I think, because I think Chris Dark, if I remember correctly, had the incidents in the first 2 races. Not just his fault, but just caught up in a few unfortunate crashes, and don't think he even got a result.
Yeah, and so with just a few moments to go until this first race, and the first broadcasted race actually, who do you think will prevail? Do you think Kilo will be able to dominate this race? Do you think it'll be a team battle? Do you think it'll be THR versus Kilo? Because obviously he hasn't got anyone to back him up.
Yeah,
He
I
is
think.
there on his own at the top, and well, be interesting to see if he will end up being pressurised out of the lead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier. Kilov has no backup, effectively. And I think, although he may have a slightly superior one-lap pace, Robert Riesenmüller is definitely not far off. Neither is Chris Butcher, and I think it's going to be one of those two THR red cars that will walk away with this win, or not walk away, sorry, but they will have to fight for it, of course. But I think if I'm gonna put money on any of them, it would probably be Robert Riesenmüller, because he seems to have slightly superior pace over Chris Butcher, and he proved at Curitiba that he can go out there and win races. So I think I'm gonna put my money on race 1 for Robert Riesenmüller if Simon Kilov doesn't manage to get away.
Okay, I think I'll probably do the same as well. But as we saw last time, grid position isn't fully essential as we go to the race now. We've got 18 laps for not only this race but also the second race.
I think the driver to watch in this one would be Tom Ely starting in 5th, because we saw in practice he was the quickest driver, and maybe didn't quite get it together in qualifying, and we know how good a racer Tom Ely is. He's very clean but also very fast, and I think he's definitely going to be the dark horse for this one.
It is possible, especially if he works with his Swedish teammate Strana. So, everyone on the grid? Well, yeah, and now we go. So if we just go through the grid, we can go through the top 10 just quite lightly as we've already gone through them. So, you know, Kilov on pole, and on his, well, also on the front row will be Wiesemuller for THR Red, with his teammate Chris Butcher just behind. Thomas Maciejewski, also THR number 18, will be in 4th. He'll be absolutely amazed by his result there and his pace. He's always had glimmers of pace, but he's never been able to show true potential. Then we have Tom Ely in 5th with, you know, one of his compatriots, well, teammates, compatriots, Eric Strana. Dan Anderson and one of his teammates, David Zafiu, also there. So, 4 teams in the top 8, and all with at least one teammate along, except for Kilov. So, what do you think teams like Walk Racing can do?
I think I don't think they're gonna be able to quite mix it with ice cold THR and precision unless something goes wrong for the front guys. But they're definitely gonna be there to pick up the pieces if there are any. If any of the drivers have any incidents or have a bad start, for example, maybe pick up a puncture or anything like this. Walk Racing seem to be the team at the moment that can deal with that and that'll be able to pick up the scraps. So they're definitely the outsiders in this race, but you could call them the best of the rest if you like. But yeah, they're definitely a team to keep an eye on because they're gonna, if they keep up the consistency and keep on showing up to these races, they're gonna have a good result in the championship.
So yeah, if we just go through the rest of the grid then, for THR Green we have Chris Stark, who's a recently joined THR driver. Adrian Holm, Eric Strana's official teammate, is in 10th. Toby Davis, Thomas Maciejewski's teammate, is in 11th. He won't be, well, he'll be disappointed obviously, but compared to his pace at Curitiba, it's not that far off. Then we have Luis Fernandez in the SimSync Pro default livery in 12th, with Jonathan Augerklint. That's a really good qualifying, not trying to be biased, but 30th place for him, that's quite good actually. Xavier da Carvalho for Madcape is 14th, Jimmy Hughes for Walk Racing is 15th, Ryan Callan, TPS admin, is 16th. He'll be rather disappointed with that, but his excuse is that this is his first event with a new steering wheel. 17th place is Karamidari Bogdan, the Walk Racing manager. 18th is Soren Magnusson, Xavier da Carvalho's teammates. That's quite good for them. 2 drives in the top 20. David Junt is in 19th. Andy van der Velde is in 20th. Rico Arnold is 21. Lars Bergman is 22nd. Van der Venne is 23rd. Scott Sovik's 24th. Rasvan's 25th. Richards is 26th on his mini debut. Johnson 27th. Lilly is 28th, just lining up on his grid in his iPhone-inspired livery. Bergman, Lars Bergman's teammate, is 29th. Chris Sykes is 30th. And last on the grid is Eric Tveit, so he is racing. So if we go back to the front, Simon Kilov, the light should be out soon.
Yep, about to go racing for round 2 of the Virtual Mini Challenge. Race 1 here from Campo Grande. Just waiting for the lights to go on after the cars they've finished their warm-up lap, and this is it. The lights are coming on now. That's 3, 4, and we're about to go green here for the Virtual Mini Challenge. And we are green, and it looks like a good start. Akilov.
Yeah, he's kept the lead. Meanwhile, Chris Butcher seems to be going alongside his teammate Robert Wiesemuller. They are fighting for the championship. They're going to turn 1. Meanwhile, all the other cars are squabbling behind. Let's see how things pan out. Robert Wiesemuller going around the outside of Kilov. He's
They're
done it.
side by side, heading towards turn 2. Contact between the two, and it looks like Robert Riesenmüller has taken the lead. Doesn't seem like there's been too many incidents, which is very good. And Kilov he's dropped down to second already, so that's not the perfect start for him. It looked like he got a good getaway, he just didn't quite get the speed through turn 1.
Yeah, that was amazing overtake there, an amazing start by Riesenmüller. Tom Ely's moved up to 4th, just behind Chris Butcher. Maciejewski dropped back behind Tom Ely. Eric Strana's still in 6th. Zafiu and Allison 7th and 8th, so they swap positions, and Toby Davis is up to 9th ahead of Chris Dark and Adrian Holm.
Yep, good start for THR Red then. They've gained position instead of losing, and a brilliant move, as you said, from Robert Riesenmüller around turn 1, really stamping his authority on this race and showing that he wants to race. And Simon Kilov's now having a look. This is already proving how good the racing is, and he's going to go down the inside.
This is the first time we've gone on this very long back straight, and it already seems to be providing good action. As Kilov go down the inside, there's... Oh, you can't get much closer than that.
No, Robert Riesenmüller somehow held his own round the outside of that very difficult long turn, but he's going to have the outside of the hairpin. He's run wide, and Kilov's through, and Chris Butcher's his teammate.
Oh, that's very disappointing for THR Red. If they just keep their cool, then they should have a good race. And Tom Ely looks like he'd be moving into 3rd. He does indeed, and he gets... Oh, Maciejewski bumps his teammate there. That didn't seem to help him, and latterly that has helped Eric Strana. So this has been not a bad first lap for Ice Cold Racing. 3rd and 6th, and it looks like he'll be 3rd and 5th very soon. There's also Zafiu's right in the back as well, so Zafiu might follow Strana. No, he doesn't. He backs out of it as Strana takes and asserts his vengeance to get 5th place.
Yep, good move. And yeah, as we were seeing earlier, Chris Butcher was fighting for second. He was going down the inside of Robert, a bit too ambitious. I think he just missed his braking point slightly and made contact with his teammate, and it's cost him because he's lost the position to the charging Tom Ely and is now down in 4th. So THR Red suddenly go from 1st and 3rd to 2nd and 4th through a couple of corners.
Yeah, just looking near the back of the field, we've already got 2 retirements, one of which is James Johnson, the THR driver, another one is Lars Bergman. That's his, he hasn't actually, I don't think he's even actually completed 1 lap of the series so far after he missed the first 2 races due to technical problems. Also, Ryan Cannon's down in 21st position after starting in the top 16, and Jonathan Augerklint, who had a brilliant qualifying in about 13th position, is now right near the back with Ray Lilly.
Disappointing for him, but yeah, driver James Johnson for THR Green never seems to get the luck. Or well, he always gets luck, but it's bad, unfortunately, and he always seems to just get the brunt of that bad luck, and it looks like he's been involved in another incident, which is a shame for him because he did show good pace. But now, back at the front, Robert Riesenmüller is really pressing on Simon Kilov, and Kilov's not been able to run away. Oh, there's a bit of lock up there, and I think Kilov's done well to defend the position. Tom Ely looking racy in 3rd. Kilov holds the lead for the moment. There's nothing in it though.
And as you rightly predicted, Tommy is a bit of an underdog in this race. He's managed to get up through the field quickly, and if Kilov and Riesenmüller keep fighting, Ely will be right in the mix and might be able to move up to 2nd and then fight for the win.
I think Butcher and Strand need to be careful they don't lose too much ground to these guys, as does Tom really, because as soon as they lose the slipstream, Robert Riesenmüller and Simon Kilov will just make a break for it. Although if Robert's going for the lead, he will be costing both of them time if he's trying to make moves here and there. But Robert's an experienced driver and he knows what he's doing, and I don't think he'll make too many bad manoeuvres. Follow Chris Butcher now in 4th.
And yeah, it looks like he might just be getting away from Strana. Maciejewski, I don't think he'll be too disappointed with being 6th, although he might have lost 2 positions. He'll be happy just to be still around that top group, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to try and help his teammates as much as possible by pressurising the other drivers.
Oh,
but it isn't working, Butcher's been pushed
and
off
Butcher's
the track.
off.
He's in the wall.
Is he going to keep out the wall?
No.
Somehow keeps out the wall. A bit of contact with Strani, that won't put Butcher in too good a mood, although he hasn't lost too much time. He's down in 6th behind Thomas Maciejewski, and he'll be looking to make those positions straight back up and see if he can get a vengeance on Eric Strana. But yeah, one of the men I've noticed actually up in 15th position, that man again, Eric Tveit for Ice Cold Racing, teammate to Tom Ely. He said he'd win this race. He said to me before he'd win the race, and starting on 30th position on the grid, he's already up to 15th after 3 laps, so technically he'll be leading after 6.
Yeah,
start for Eric Tveit.
That's Scottish mathematics for you.
Oh, dear.
And actually, look at this. So he's only got... Oh, and I think that might have been... Well, that might have been Sovic who'd run wide. I saw an OSR green car run wide. And we've also got a Walk racing car. Was that Bogdan?
Yes, yeah, it looks like it, or it might have been Razvan.
It was one of the two, and either way, they're battling.
And Matt Richards wants a piece.
Yeah, Matt Richards, this is his debut in the series, and he's currently in the points position. There's also Ryan Callan behind this. Let's go on board with Ryan Callan. Look at that, right on the back of of Matt Richards. Will he go into the inside? Yes, he will. Let's see if Richard can actually do any special defending. No, he can't. That's Ryan Cannon slip through into 20th position and into the points of the Walk Racing.
But Walk Racing run wide.
Yeah, they're just screwing each other over, really.
Yeah, and I think Matt Richards, I don't know if he'll be too happy with being down in 21st. It is his debut in the series, but recently in the Touring Pro Series, especially in the Tom Onslow Clio Series and in World Supertech Series, he's definitely shown more pace than in previous seasons. And Matt Richards is really blossoming as a fast and contending driver as Callan runs wide.
But he has kept the lead. So back towards the front, Keylor is just a few tenths ahead of Wiesemuller, and Edie's right behind as well. So after Keylor made the decisive move on lap 1 into this turn, Wiesemuller hasn't been able to do anything. So I don't know if just Keylor's got something special up his sleeves in the left-hander before that long straight or something, because Wiesemuller just hasn't been able to touch Keylor at all for an overtaking manoeuvre until this turn. And on both of the times he's made a move this time, Keylor says
he loves run wide.
He's been rather aggressive with his defensive. But it seems to be working currently, as Wiesemuller's in second place. So it's obviously working if you're defending and you've managed to keep the car behind you. Obviously.
Aggressive but fair defending is probably the best way to go about it. If you want to be a champion, you need to know how to defend a position. You can be aggressive without compromising the other driver. So I think Simon Keeloff's doing a good job so far. Robert Wiesemuller just holding station at the moment. As we say that, Tommy Lee dives down the inside, and he's going to get the position. Robert Wiesemuller holds it on the outside like he did in the opening lap. I think he might be able to, because he'll have the inside line as the next turn. Walk Racing running wide.
He got the inside for turn 2 as well, so he just slips in ahead of the Ice Cold Racing driver. Eric Strana's off. Yeah, so now we have Precision, THR and Ice Cold Racing in the top 5. Chris Butcher's dropped back from his teammate Matuszewski. So either Butcher's really struggling, receives some damage, or he just hasn't got the pace towards the top 4.
Yep, and if he's not careful, Dan Allenson will be right on his back. So disappointing start for Chris Butcher, and he needs to be careful he doesn't drop further back and try and stay with these guys in front. But if he's not careful, this train is just going to fly away. And I think, yeah, as I was saying before, Robert Wiesemuller is just holding station at the moment. He's trying to save his tyres, because I know Robert is an experienced driver and he's very good at conservative driving and saving his tyres. So Robert will be just holding in behind Simon Keeloff right now, trying to hold the second place from Tommy Lee and making sure he doesn't get away. And then hopefully he'll fight for the lead towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we have further back Ray Lilly's now 15 seconds off from the car ahead of him. Has also retired, so that's 2 Optimum Sim Racing drivers out of the race, along with 1 THR driver. Yep. Meanwhile, the Ice Colds are getting quite close. So we've seen some very alternating lines through that final sector as everyone tries to find their way past another car, and it is sort of creating contact in those final few corners as everyone adapts to each other's racing lines.
Yep, Simon Keeloff won't be having a good view in his mirror right now. The Charging Ice Cold and THR drivers just in the big train at the moment, just trying to stay in the slipstream and keep their tyres as neat as possible, and then probably launch an attack at the end of the race, although Tommy Lee seems to be trying to launch an attack as soon as possible, trying to get past Robert Wiesemuller, but Wiesemuller did a great job the last lap in defending his position. So just to give a quick overview, we've got Simon Keeloff, who we're on board with at the moment, in the lead of the race for Precision, ahead of the man you're looking at right now, Robert Wiesemuller for THR Red. Tommy Lee is sitting in 3rd for Ice Cold, ahead of Eric Strana in the Ice Cold Swedes car. Thomas Matuszewski for THR Orange in a great 5th position, ahead of the man who's been slightly disappointing so far in this race, Chris Butcher, teammate to Robert, in 6th. Right on his tail now is Dan Allenson, the first of the Walk Racing contingent, in 7th position, ahead of the charging Toby Davis, who's just got past Chris Dark, it looks like, in THR Orange and THR Green, respectively. Adrian Holm, Ice Cold Swedes teammate to Eric Strana, in 10th. Luis Fernandez, who put on a great charge at Curitiba last time and is high up in the championship, he's sitting in 11th, which you might not be too happy with.
Sorry to interrupt, but the leaders are side by side going into that long left-hander, and Ely's also getting involved.
And Ely's there as well.
Through 3 wide, and Ely's going to take 2nd from Wiesemuller, but he's run wide. Wiesemuller will cut back on the inside. It's all happening.
Oh, Wiesemuller got really far on the inside. He did. Ely did a great move on Robert Wiesemuller, who Robert was actually trying to pass Keeloff at the time, and Ely just took advantage. Wiesemuller lost a little bit of time going over the curb, and now it's Tommy Lee, who was my underdog to get a good result in this race, holding good position at the moment in 2nd place, but Wiesemuller's looking racing.
And look at this, we have the top 5 separated by just 1.2 seconds, 3 different teams, and I'm trying to think, is that 5 different nationalities? Yes, it is.
I think
It's
so,
5 different
yes.
nationalities in the top 5 as well. That's quite amazing.
That's quite a good achievement, yeah, and it's just showing how international the Touring Pro Series is. And look at that brilliant view for the trainer drivers. I think this is going to turn into an incredibly exciting race. Of course, it already is an incredibly exciting race. But towards the end, if these 5 drivers start scrapping out, it could be any one of these that takes the win. I mean, even Tomasz Matejewski back in 5th position. He's just sitting on the back right now, waiting for the guys in front of him to crash. And I've lost count of how many times I've seen drivers, just sitting back, waiting for all the action to happen in front of them, and just walking away with a win when they eventually have instance.
Sorry, watching on board this absolutely major slipstream battle between this top 5, because we got so many cars close together, no one seems to have a major advantage compared to another in the on the back straight.
Yep, it's leveling out the playing field. It's meaning none of these guys are having a big advantage. Whoever's at the back, even if they have slightly less pace around the rest of the track, they're just going to gain it all back with that massive slipstream. And these minis it's turning into a bit of a NASCAR race at the moment. And Simon Kilov, without the slipstream, is holding his own out front for precision. He's got no teammates to help him, and somehow he's managed to keep the lead throughout. And apart from the first lap where he got passed by Robert Riesenmiller, but got straight back past and has held his own since then, showing that pace really does matter.
Absolutely, as we. Powerful saw some cars off in the background, so let's see if Electronic can do anything into turn 1. He seems slightly too far back, but as we saw last time, he made some very good moves. He went around the outside of Chris Butcher on the final lap of race 1 to take 2nd place, and that was his best ever TPS finish. He's never got a win, but that was his 2nd official podium.
Yeah, it was a great race by him.
And it seems like he's also, showing the same performance here as well. If he can keep showing this throughout the season, and, let's say if Robert Wiesner and Chris Butcher have problems, which we clearly see that both of them are having minor problems currently. Oh.
Yep. It's quite likely to have an incident for any of these guys. I mean, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to have at least one problem throughout the season, and it could be any of them that take away the championship. Consistency matters.
I think these are the 2 closest cars on track right now, but Wiesman's slowly getting away. Strada's now slightly closing in, but there isn't really much he can do because Wiesman is also getting a slipstream from Ely ahead. Ely's trying to go around the outside of Kilo. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, maybe he can cut back on the inside. No, he
but
can't.
Robert's down the inside.
Well, let's see if Robert can do to Tom what Tom did to Robert. Going into the inside for left-hander. I think it's turn 7. Yes,
nice.
He can. He gives him a slight bump wide, but nothing wrong. He's
Kilov's
back
been
in
hit.
Kilov, and Edie's going around the outside, and he should be able to take him back for the right hand.
Oh, there's more contact! Ely sideways! And he's hit his teammate Strana!
And now Matejewski's going to take 5, so he's 5th, so he's gone 2nd to 5th.
Yep, and that's what I was saying about Matejewski, just sitting back there waiting for these drivers to have incidents and picking up the pieces. These 2 drivers that you're watching now really need to be careful they don't lose the gap to the top 3. But this is just incredible racing. This is reminiscent of Monza, the old Formula 1 in, I think it was 1971, when you had 5 cars just slipstreaming all the way down, side-by-side action, brilliant racing. And Tommy Lee there, I think he might have just been a bit too ambitious trying to go for the lead of the race from 3rd, and made slight contact with Riesenmiller and Kilov, and it just didn't seem to pay off with these front-wheel drive minis. As soon as they're under brakes and they get tapped in the back, they're just gonna step out because all the weight's at the front, and you can just literally push it around with your finger. So that's cost Tommy Lee some time, and he's down to 5th. But hopefully hold on to the slipstream. And looking a bit further back, it looks like Eric
look at this. We got quite a big battle going on here. There's about 6 cars here within about a 2.5 seconds, and Niels Bergman's out. That's 3 Optimum drivers out. He's out from a points finishing position. Look at this. We've got a massive battle here. We've got Eric Tveit, who's overtaken Xavier, Toby Davis in 9th, Chris Dark. We got tons of different teams, tons of different drivers who are all battling out now for 8th position.
Yep, and it's THR and Ice Cold again.
Just going to go back up front though. Let's see, because Wiesman does seem quite close to Kilov, and yes he is. He's right on the back of him again. So Wiesman struggles to try to get close enough for the main overtaking opportunity, which is turn 6. But for turn 7 here, he's always close, and he's close again. He's on. Oh no, he had to back out of that there.
Yeah, I think Kilov just ran a little bit wide, and Robert just didn't quite have the pace to manage to, get his car down the inside and make that move stick, but still pushing really hard, trying to just untie Kilov right now.
Sorry, we have Strana's going to be side by side with Wiesmuller. Don't think he's going to do it enough though. Oh, that was very close there between the 2.
Oh, maybe he's lost the slipstream.
Yeah. Yes,
real shame for him.
Actually.
Yep, and what
Chris.
was I going to say? Strana. Yeah, he's been. I mean, he hasn't really shown his cards too much in this race so far. Just sitting there in fourth, and suddenly he's fighting Robert Riesenmüller for second place. And I think he's now the man who might take an unexpected, well, at least a podium here today. Eric de Weit's dropped from 9th to 14th, so my Scottish mathematics aren't really paying off too well. Especially when I got my exams coming up soon.
All up too late.
Yep. And now this Matuzowski's staying right with these guys. He's not got a lack of pace. Like some people may be expecting Thomas to drop off a little bit. Might have just had a lucky qualifying, but he's definitely proving he is there. He's definitely meant to be there. It wasn't a fluke in any way. Thomas Matuzowski's showing great pace, and just as I say that, he's slightly dropped the slipstream. But if he can just hold on there, not far behind these guys, and he's going to pick up a brilliant result here. We've seen incidents already with Tom Ely, and look where that's left him. Out of the draft and a position gained for Strana and Thomas Matuzowski. So any of these drivers at the moment can win this race. There's definitely anything can happen, and it usually does.
Yeah, and as you're saying with Tom Ely, it was just a slight bit of contact. He just ran slightly wide, and in the end, he ended up losing 3 positions. And that could happen to any one of these top 3, with the racing lead so close. And all of a sudden, we have Matuzowski getting his first ever TPS podium. We have many drivers actually getting their first TPS podiums, or their sort of best results in this league, and it looks like Matuzowski will be another one of those drivers to add to the list. Let's just look further back, as we haven't really looked much further from this sort of the top 6, and we had a quick look at this battle. So that Zafiu's got away from the group. Toby Davis has got ahead of his teammate Chris Dark. Jimmy Hughes has moved up. Eric Tveit's lost a few positions. Xavier Dark-Cabral is having a very good performance here in 13th. Luis Fernandez isn't doing as well, but he's just gone around the outside of the Mad Cape Racing driver. Too wide though. And that's Adrian Holm, who looks to be taking advantage.
Yep, these guys are also having a great battle. David Zafiu, I've been following his progress because he ran wide off turn 1 really early on, dropped back to 15th, and he's already back up to 8th. So brilliant driving.
And Eric Tveit's going around the outside. I think that was Jimmy Hughes there, the Walk Racing driver, so great move there. Further back, there was the ADR guys who have been sort of together for the whole race. They were quite close in qualifying, and here they are, together in the race. Further back, Ryan Callan's been really struggling in this race. Where is he now? 22nd. We saw him in 19th and 20th earlier. But now he's there in 22nd. Matt Richards, who was also in the points earlier, is now fighting with Jonathan Aukerklint for 23rd. So currently neither of those two, plus Ryan Callan and Morgerson, will not get points because the points only go up to the top 20.
Yeah.
And slightly further back, we have Rico Arnold and Ray Lilly. So I'd just like to point out Ray Lilly's quite imaginative livery here. Looks like an iPhone on the top.
That is pretty cool. I have to say I've not seen that before, and that is a pretty inventive livery by Ray Lilly. But looking at the lead here, concentrate back in lead because Robert Riesenmüller is side by side with Simon Kielhoff heading down to turn 1. And Strana's also got the slipstream. Strana's going to make his way through here. It looked like Robert was attacking Kielhoff, and it looks like Strana's going to be attacking both of them, I guess.
No, Riesenmüller kept it around the outside. A slight bit of contact, but no change of position there. And also, this battling has also meant that Tom Ely is now back on the back of this. So top 5 is now going to be separated by less than 15 hundredths of a second. Sorry, not 50. Yeah, 15 hundredths. Yes. And Chris Butcher's just really since the contact with Strana, he's been really struggling. So maybe in race 2, maybe he could get a slightly better qualifying. Maybe get on the front row this time and just try and keep there, try and avoid some trouble, or maybe a bit better consistency.
And Ely's made his way back into that slipstream, which is quite vital for him because that means he's got a chance. Once again, any of these guys can win, and Ely's back on the pace. But Chris Butcher's proving, this train. It's not as if it's not as if it's a truly train with one man at the front holding everyone up. You've got all of these drivers absolutely going flat out for the race win here, and they're so closely paced. You're still getting this train effect with many drivers. There's Riesenmüller trying to break the train right now.
And watch out for Strana though. Watch out for Strana. Tom Ely overtook. Oh no!
Oh, get sideways there. Thomas Matuzowski. Strana's going around the outside. Surely he can't get that turned in. And he has somehow.
He has,
and his contact.
And he's now into second place. Oh no, he isn't.
He's not.
Oh,
good move there by Strana. Didn't quite pay off. But Tom Ely's found himself right back in the train. More contact.
Big contact between 3 of them.
Domino effect there. But Simon Kielhoff somehow manages to maintain his lead and a stranglehold on this race. Yeah, Chris Butcher proving that as soon as you lose that draft, if you've not got absolutely incredible pace, you're just going to fall back and you're not going to be able to stick with these guys. So it's proving how fast and competitive this train is.
Going into 4th position there, ahead of Matuzowski. No, he has lost position, but he made slight contact with Tom Ely's teammate.
I think Strana helped Tom Ely there by accident. He seemed to be going a little bit, braking nice and early into the corner and slightly got bumped by Thomas Matazowski, which slowed him down and allowed Ely around the outside. So, nice move there by Tom Ely, and you've got Precision at the front, THR second and sixth, and Ice Cold at the moment third and fourth. So it looks like Ice Cold are actually prevailing over THR in this race.
Oh, sorry, we got Allenson going to go. Well, he's going to back out of it, but he was going for the inside into turn 5 here on Chris Butcher. Chris Butcher's missing the apex slightly there, and Allenson got a much better run. And look at that, look at those top 5, almost like a bloody snake. Oh, that's 2 moves there by Kilov. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that's investigated by the stewards afterwards for sort of illegal defending. As we see Allenson going to go for the inside, is he? No. Let's quickly go back up front. Biesmuller can't seem to make a move. Tom Ely might be making a move, but he's got a poor exit, and now Matazowski's right on the back of him. And look at this for an aerial
shot. He's down the
inside. Oh,
contact!
no!
Oh no! Tom Ely's more contact with Strana, but once again Strana accidentally helping his teammate, slowing down Tom Ely to make him not run too wide, and brilliant accidental teamwork by Ice Cold there. And yeah, it's been a brilliant race so far. We've only got 5 laps left, and that's absolutely flown by. And Simon Kilov somehow, although he has been defending, might have been a bit too aggressive, as Bradley pointed out a second ago, still holding on to that lead for Robert Riesenmüller. Dan Allenson in 7th is putting on a great show at the moment. We said when he was 7th in qualifying, we said he'd be delighted with that. And I mean, he's pushing Chris Butcher, you know, one of the championship leaders, and the man you were expecting to walk away with the title along with Robert Riesenmüller. And Dan Allenson is right there with Chris Butcher, just taking that draft and giving him a real run for his money here.
Yeah, it's great to see a driver like Allenson putting in such a good performance and sort of, in a way, being able to match the other teams and the top teams like THR, especially when they're trying. Oh, that's very wide for Butcher, and that's the second time in a row he's done that. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done it other times in the race.
He doesn't want to match THR, he wants to beat them, and he's proving that right now, just taking a wheel to the outside.
Allenson's taken a much later apex, he's got a much better exit.
Yep, and somehow, back at the front battle, Tom Ely's managed to crawl his way back up. He was outside the draft for a few laps, and he's managed to crawl his way back up to 4th, and all over the back of Eric Strana at the moment. But yeah, this is a closer battle right now. Chris Butcher having to defend from Dan Allenson. Dan Allenson trying to prove Walk Racing have the potential to beat the teams like THR. Not quite going to happen this time, but he'll wait for the next opportunity.
Okay, so we're just a few laps to go. There is not long that Keeler has to defend for now. he's probably just wants to get rid of his wing mirror. He's probably hating it so much now. He just want to smash it.
Yeah.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Why can't you get rid of the THR red drivers? And I got there.
Yep, and Robert Riesenmüller's definitely not, you know, lifted his foot off the gas pedal. We said he'd probably be waiting till towards the end of the race before making a move, and we are reaching that point now where Robert is going to be attacking, and this is the man to watch right now because this is for the lead of the race. And Robert, of course, trying to put a stranglehold on this championship. He's never won a TPS championship before. He came close last season in the minis, and he's wanting to do it this season. Some would call him the favourite, and I think he has a good shot at this championship. And me and Bradley also said he had a good shot at winning this race. So let's see if he can undo Simon Kilov. Without, of course, you can't forget, without the help of his teammates, Chris Butcher back in 6th, having a slightly disappointing race at the moment. Riesenmüller holding the flag for THR right now, along with Matazowski in 5th. But yeah, Robert Riesenmüller definitely, if he can win this race, it definitely gives him a stranglehold in that championship. He'll increase his lead, and suddenly, you know, he's got all the expectation, and everyone will be telling him, you know, he's the man to beat in this championship, and that can give the driver a lot of confidence, although it can also put them under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, meanwhile, the top 2 have now got away from the rest of the group, so it's no longer a 5 or even 6 car group. It's now just these top 2 who have got away, which will, I think this will help Riesenmüller.
Yeah, no one to defend from, I definitely agree. Because he knows he can now go aggressive with Simon Kilov and try and make a move that might cost him, both of them, time without actually losing the position, which before he couldn't do because he knew one slip up would mean that Eric Strand and Tom Ely would be, you know, up there. But Eric Strand still holding off 3rd from his teammate Tom Ely, looking for a 2nd podium in 3 races, which would be a fantastic start to the season for the young Swede.
Yeah, and just going to look further back with just a couple of laps to go now. Butcher's now dropped behind Allenson, so we've missed that, but you know, quite definitely not up to his expectations in his previous performances. This will put Riesenmüller, well, yeah, they put Riesenmüller in the lead of the championship, and only been in the lead by quite a few points. This is not the first time that Butcher's had a disappointing second round, when he's had such a good start to a championship.
Yep.
This group is sort of spread out now.
And
Toby
Dan Allison
Davis-
has beaten Chris Butcher. Sorry, on you go, Bradley. Yes.
I was going to say, Toby Davis is really struggling now. He just dropped back behind Jimmy Hughes, so he was fighting about 8th earlier, now he's down to 12, so again, just not living up to expectations, some of these drivers today. I think that's what the goal is today. Some drivers, some drivers have fulfilled their expectations, such as Kilo and Strana and Ely. Meanwhile, others, such as Butcher and Davis, have really struggled, and it's always interesting when these things happen, but
It's interesting to see some of the top guys, just not being able to handle all the pressure and be able to really get to grips with a new car. Because we have seen that it definitely depends on what cars you're driving. I mean, some people can drive, the front-wheel drive small engine Clios and then be rubbish in the V8s, rather like myself. Or you can have drivers that are, really good in something like a V8 or a World Touring Master, but rubbish in a front-wheel drive Mini. You just do get these people, but you also get those drivers, such as the guys in Precision. You have to say, like Simon Kilov, who can do the business in whatever series they join.
Look at this for a move from Bogdan on the inside of David Junt into turn 6. What a move! What a move!
Great move.
Let's see if Junt can carry the momentum around the outside. It is slightly banked. No, he can't, and that's Bogdan who will keep, or will he? Oh, just about, I think. No? Oh, well, that was great defending there for Junt. It looked like Bogdan had the move covered, but he couldn't make it stick. But I've got to go back to the front.
Yep. Only 2 laps to go. Or less than 2 laps to go. Look at this battle! How have we missed this? Somehow, the top 4 drivers, there must have been contact or something between Wiesenmuller and Kilov. I'm sorry about missing that, but look at this battle we've got here. This is absolutely phenomenal racing. Still, the positions are the same, but the on-track, the time gaps have just disappeared somehow. And Wiesenmuller making contact with Kilov.
We have 4 cars within half a second here.
5 cars, almost. Well, yeah, 4 within half a second, and Matt Azowski's right there as well. As we were saying, to pick up all the scraps.
I think Strana's gonna win this race now. We've just a lap and a half to go.
I'm gonna put my money on Alonson right now. The way this is going.
They all
or
take
Matt
each other out on the 2000 speed skating Winter Olympics. Wiesenmuller's going around the outside, big contact move to him and Kilov. And now Strana's going to be on the inside, so it looks like my prediction might be correct.
Yeah, maybe we could have a repeat of Lime Rock and the Clios from last season, as Strana's in second. So Wiesenmuller suddenly finds himself, and there's more contact between Kilov. Strana can win this race, Strana definitely can win this race. He's been sitting there the whole race, he's not lost pace, and he's the man who challenges Simon Kilov right now. A little bump here and there. Okay, it may not be the fairest thing, but if it works, even if it's accidental, Strana has a really good chance of beating Kilov in this race. You cannot count out Wiesenmuller, Ely, Mataszewski. This is just a phenomenal end to a phenomenal race. We've got 1 lap to go. Can Kilov hold on and take that win? He's been looking like he's going to do it throughout the whole race, and we come to the last lap. He'll be gutted. He's wide. He's wide. Strana's in the lead. Eric Strana, who has never won a race before in the Touring Pro Series, finds himself in the lead on the final lap. This is extraordinary stuff. Kilov made no mistakes throughout the whole race, and he's gone and made a mistake on the first corner of the last lap. But now Strana needs to defend hard.
Sorry, further back. Look at this. Ely and Wiesenmuller are bumping each other like no end for this third position.
They've dropped away, and now we've got the position. Eric Strana finds himself in a position. He's going to be under so much pressure, and Kilov's down the inside. And can Eric Strana hold on? That's the massive question.
Oh, he's got a good exit though. He's got a really good exit because he had a sort of a bit of a wider line. He's had a good exit, but Kilov's got the slipstream. I think Strana should stick to the inside. If he goes to the outside, then that means that Kilov's got the inside for turn 7, and that seems to be the important call.
Oh, but Kilov's dive to the inside. He's done a Mansell and PK from Silverstone. He's down the inside. He's going to go straight on. Strana on the outside. Brilliant defending by Strana. This is incredible. Eric Strana. We all like Eric Strana. We all want him to win this race, apart from probably Simon Kilov himself. And Kilov is definitely looking racy. Don't go in deep, Eric.
He's gone in deep.
This is crazy. The race has exploded on the final lap, and Eric Strana comes round the final complex of turn. He's gonna win his first ever Touring Pro Series event. Roll over, take a bow, Eric Strana. Comes round the final turn. We said someone would be there to pick up the pieces, and ice cold Eric Strana has won race 1 from Campo Grande in the Virtual Minis. Wow.
Yeah, that was well. I think that will forgive all the spectators for having no round 1 broadcast.
Where's Tommy Lee? Tommy Lee's completely gone. He's not in the top 7. He's not in the top 8. What has happened to Tom Ely? This is a disaster for him. He looked like he was challenging for a win earlier on, and he's not even showing up in the results. Is he out? Did he even finish? This might have been a glitch, or it might have just been Tom Ely having an incident we missed on the final lap.
I'm gonna try and find out. This is very weird though.
Oh, that is absolutely phenomenal race by Eric Strana.
He's out. He is. I don't know. I think he is out. We also have Orca in the wall. I don't know what's happened there. That's a big crash.
Final corner. I'm being told. Oh, sorry to interrupt there. I'm being told that Ely crashed out in the final corner.
Wow. Looks like it's the same thing happened to Orca as well. Wow. So that gives
Stunning
Allenson
round.
5th place. Well, that was Allenson gets 5th place.
Top 5. That's brilliant. And the men we were saying at the start of the race, they could run away with the championship. Robert Riesenmuller 3rd, Chris Butcher 6th, beaten by Eric Strana, who is actually really far up there in the championship, and Simon Keelov in 2nd. But that race was absolutely phenomenal. We had a train throughout the whole race, and Touring Pro Series never fails to provide incredible racing, as we just proved there on the last lap. It just all exploded. Keelov, he couldn't stand the pressure, and he ran wide on turn 1. And Eric Strana was the man there to pick up the pieces, not Robert Riesenmuller. So Riesenmuller would be a bit disappointed. And then Eric Strana managed to somehow contain the pressure and go on to win his first Touring Pro Series race. I'm sure everyone's delighted for him.
Yeah, it's a great result for him. So that's his 3rd podium. That's his first win. So that's sort of like a little collection. He's got 1 win, 1 second place, and 1 third.
I'm hearing that Ely was actually clipped by Riesenmuller on the final turn. I'm not going to put any blame on any driver. I haven't seen the incident, but it looks like there was contact between Robert Riesenmuller for THR Red and Ice Cold leader Tom Ely. Well, you could call him a leader, but he races for THR in the Tom Local Clio, so never really know. But yeah, Tom Ely just really unfortunate. He's up there in the championship, and he's looking really good for a top 4 or even a podium, and he's been involved in an incident on the final turn.
Okay then, so I think we should better say then. So if you want to see action like that again, then you could turn up and watch more TPS broadcasts. In just 5 days, we have round 2 of the Tom Onslow Cole Clio series at Verano de Meligari. The circuit has a lot of chicanes. It's one of the tightest circuits, but because of this, it's one of the best to watch.
Oh dear.
In season 2, we had an almighty battle between Ryan Callan and the THR team, which was right at the heart of a major championship battle. Last season, we had Toby Davis and Ryan Callan fighting for the victory. In one of the races, Ryan Callan ran out of fuel on the final lap. There's always contact, there's always battling, and there's always full enjoyment for both the drivers and the spectators. And then just a couple of days later, on the 13th of April, at 5:15 GMT, which is at 6:15 in UK, we have round 2 of the Virtual V8 Supercars 2013. Round 2 is at Barbagallo, and after one of the most amazing TPS races we've ever seen just 2 weeks ago, well, no, sorry, 1 week ago at Albert Park. Be interesting to see if round 2 can fulfill the expectations.
Yep, it definitely. Well, if TPS never fails to fill expectations, and we had a great race at Albert Park. Quite lots of controversy and also lots of brilliant racing as usual in the V8s. And so definitely, if you're available for Barbagallo, please do tune in for some more fantastic action. And I think we'll be about 5 minutes before the next qualifying session, or maybe even less than that. So yeah, I mean, give me your opinion on that race, Bradley. You know, who was your driver of the day? Who were you disappointed in, etc., etc.
I think it's rather obvious who the driver of the day is.
Of course. I mean, obviously you've got Eric Strana winning his first ever race in the Touring Pro Series after his first podium last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry, out at Curitiba, and absolutely delighted for him. Brilliant drive by Eric Strana. Kept his head throughout the whole race. Didn't drop off the leaders. Didn't make any mistakes. Just absolutely brilliant. But actually, we're just before we go to qualifying, we're going to show you a quick video, so stay tight.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Okay, and we are back. So if you want to see even more action, maybe know more about the Touring Pro Series, maybe even join up for yourself, there are a number of links that you can see just on your screen at the moment. There is facebook.com/TouringProSeries, where you can find out the latest news and events. Same with twitter.com/touring_pro. And there's also the TPS YouTube page at youtube.com/TouringProSeries, where you can see all the highlights, broadcasts, films, pole position laps, anything to do with the TPS that is shown on that channel.
Yeah, definitely head over to that YouTube channel, just youtube.com/TouringProSeries. It's probably my favorite channel on the whole YouTube because you've got all the live broadcasts through the previous seasons. If if you're enjoying the action and you want to see more from last season, you want to see, where these drivers have been and how they've improved, or, where they've moved, you need to definitely go and watch the highlights from last season or even the full broadcast. And of course, they've also got qualifying comparisons where you see all the cars on track at the same time, see how close these cars actually are, and where the drivers are gaining certain advantages. It's just a brilliant YouTube channel with brilliant videos. And also, don't forget to mention Danny Asbury has made a collection of absolutely fantastic Touring Pro Series films based on, it's almost like season reviews of the one of the virtual V8, the most recent of the virtual V8 Supercar Championship from 2012. Absolutely stunning job on that. Brilliant video to watch. It's just an absolutely phenomenal video. And you watch it, and I'm sure you'll like it, and I'm sure you want everyone else to watch it. So definitely head over there.
Okay, so let's just go to the second qualifying session. We're just a few seconds into it, so let's just watch Eric Tveit and Simon Kilov. Eric Tveit, he started at the back last time, but he got into a points position. Meanwhile, Kilov, who was leading for 16 out of 18 laps after he... it was 17 out of 18 laps after he made that mistake on the final lap at the opening turn. He just went slightly too wide and allowed Eric Tveit's teammate, Eric Strana, through.
He lost the lead on the first corner of the first lap and then gained it and lost it again on the first corner of the last lap. So I'm sure Kilov, he'll be happy with a second, but he knows inside he could have won that race, and he should have won that race. So I think he'll be looking for revenge in the next race. Eric Strana, fresh off his brilliant win, I think this is just going to make him even more hungry for the second one. He knows he's got the pace, and I think he's going to be so excited after that first win. He's going to be in an adrenaline rush, and he's definitely one to look out for.
And as I was going to say, if you do want to maybe even race in this series, which you really should do, if you don't, then what are you doing with your weekdays and weekends? Then you can go to the Inside Sim Racing forums. There was the video just a few minutes ago about Inside Sim Racing, a little promotional trailer for them. So you can just go to the Inside Sim Racing forums and go to the Touring Pro Series section. You will find forums on all six of the TPS leagues, and this is the virtual mini challenge. Also, if you want to keep up a bit more while watching this broadcast about this event, you can go to touringproseries.com/live timing to watch, live timing of this event, so you can catch up on maybe your favorite drivers, maybe that may not be featured on the broadcast, or anything like that. So so if we can just see how Kilo is going on his lap. He's just on the back straight here. I think he's got a tiny bit of a slipstream from Tveit. Might help him. Well, I say it might help, and it will help him. He shouldn't be blocked, as Tveit is quite a fast driver. Yeah, he has got wins in the TPS in the World Touring Masters, which was some mighty fine driving there from the young Norwegian.
Yep, definitely. And he hasn't showed quite as much promise in the front wheel drives, although we do see flashes of brilliance from him every now and then when he puts in the effort. It's just Eric Tveit struggles with time to practice for these things, and he's got so many other commitments. Sometimes he leaves his practice till 10 minutes before the event. So and he misses quali a lot as well. The first race, for example, he missed quali. So and he's out for quali this time, so he might be a dark horse for a top 10 in qualifying. As both of them crossed the line, Kilov a disappointing 38.9. And
you want to be going
39.0.
quicker. 2 seconds quicker than that is needed. So let's see who else. So we have ADR third and fourth, and look at that.
The Vanders.
Not only were they together in the last race, but they're also together in qualifying.
And they're fighting each other. They're racing
each other in qualifying.
Oh dear, great teamwork. Or should I have to say the ADR guys, the Van der Velde and Van der Venne, have done a brilliant job with the liveries. I'm not sure.
Hello. Well, we seem to have a slight problem currently. Anyway, Chris Butcher, as we are watching, he's currently in 5th place, but no driver seems to have done a good lap. He's currently our personal best, meanwhile Robert Wiesmann is currently fastest of them all. Robert Wiesmann is actually just behind Chris Butcher, so you can see him in the background. That's the number 3.
Sorry, I think my mic went off there, but we're back on now. I don't know if you heard that, but I was just saying the ADR guys, when you're talking about them, brilliant design of the livery. I'm not sure if it was them or someone designed it for them, but they're really great looking cars, and they always seem to be close together on track, as we were seeing there. Yeah, and looking at the purple at the moment, Dan Allenson in second, and Eric Tveit in third, although, Kilov's bank lap wasn't definitely not as quick as it should be, so, don't be surprised to see a lot of drivers going purple at the moment.
Yeah, just watching Chris Butcher with Wiesmann behind, so both of these should be going into the top 2,
Oh,
but
no!
Not like that. Not like that,
that.
as Eric Tveit takes first, but we need to have much faster times. I'm amazed they haven't had faster times, actually, yes.
Yeah, and Chris Butcher almost impeding his teammate's lap there while rejoining, but I think it's all good. Wiesmann is going to come across the line. I don't know if he's on a lap or an out lap.
Yes, he's on a very good lap. So let's see, he will be crossing the line. And
see what
he crosses the line now with a 38.7. He takes pole, but we really should be seeing some faster times. We did last time. I think we had a 38.4 set by Kilo, and Wiesmann was second with a 38.5. So a few tenths is what we need. Eric Schreiner, last time's winner, 39.0. He will need to improve. Tom Ely, 39.2. Again, another driver that will need to improve. And also, Chris Butcher, 39.3. I'm amazed he's had such a good lap after that major slide in that final sector. He must have lost about half a second there.
Yeah, at least. I mean, that was a big slide. Tom Ely going purple, but I think the drivers, after 20 odd laps or 18 laps, sorry, of race fuel running with worn tires, to suddenly jump into qualifying trim might be catching them a bit by surprise, and they may just not be going quite as quick as they can be, and that's why you're seeing slightly slower times. But of course, we've still got 4 minutes left, so I think the drivers, we will see quicker times before the end. But yeah, so we're still following Tom Ely now. A minute into his lap.
Yeah, seems to be the only purple guy. Purple meaning that he's got a qualifying best so far. He's only for pole, even though he is now 10th slower than Wiesmann. Being a 10th slower would still put him on the second row of the grid, which isn't too bad. We also have Jimmy Hughes on a good lap. Seen quite a lot of purple times by people. So, oh, sorry. Hello?
No, sorry, my mic just went strange there, but it's all good.
Well, anyway, we really should be seeing some more improved times. This is a few times slower than we saw last time. Do you think the conditions might be different? Maybe a slightly colder temperature. And Tom Ely takes second, so he had a very good final sector, which leaped him ahead of Eric Tveit.
Jimmy Hughes is purple. I'm not sure if he's in the pits, but and he's still up in sector 2, but it's not purple, it's only green, so he's up in his own time, and he's not up anymore. Oh dear, that's going to be a big crash.
Oh. Toby Davis has also improved on his lap. Meanwhile, his teammate and his official teammate, Thomas Mazzeschi, he's moved up to 7th. And
this is
Eric
strange.
Tveit. I've got to say, Eric Tveit in 3rd position. That is an absolutely great time. Obviously, he wasn't able to show the true pace in race 1 due to missing quali, but he's definitely got the pace. He had the pace near the end of last season after a very heated battle in season 1 at Londrina. He originally got a podium, but due to some track infringements, he ended up losing his podium, I believe. This is what Toby Davis, who should be just starting his lap.
We're across the line now. He'd been disappointed with the start to his season. I know he's focusing a lot of his time on the virtual V8s and especially the Thomas Nicole Clio series, which he is, of course, the reigning champion for, and getting used to these minis. But he doesn't seem to be bonding too well with these cars at the moment. Being thoroughly beaten by, even his teammate Thomas Matusowski, who most would have expected Toby to go quicker than Thomas, judging by previous series, and also Chris Butcher, as Toby runs off the track. So just proving he's just not handling the pressure very well. And yeah, guys like Robert and Chris are up there, far up there, along with Matusowski, and Toby Davis just doesn't seem to have the pace. A bit similar to Ryan Callan, as Tommy Lee goes pole position, but still the times don't seem too fast. I'm a bit surprised.
Well, that was an awesome lap there from Tom Ely. That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. But Eric Tveit in 3rd. This is good stuff. Simon Kilov in a disappointing 4th. If he can get one clean lap in, I guess he would go quicker than this. But this is a bit startling to see all these drivers struggling with lap time. And Eric Tveit, maybe when he said he could win these races, maybe he wasn't just having a laugh. Maybe he really means it. Because he's definitely shown good pace in this qualifying session.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Well, he's had pace in previous races, not only in this league, but also he's in other leagues. He's had some good results in Clios before. Obviously, he's had the wins in WTM, and he also hasn't shown too bad pace in other leagues like WSS and V8. Meanwhile, Tom Ely though,
Purple
he's
again.
currently we have two drivers then, first and second, both saying extremely quick lap times. Just coming into the second sector point, Tom Ely's lost a couple of tenths, so.
And Tervite's up in his time as well by almost a tenth.
And
Simon Keelog, third.
But he needs to go faster because Keelog just set a time faster than him by just 1/100th of a second. Let's see
so
how things
Tervite
go.
can hold his
Wiesmann
lap
is still
time.
up though.
Yep.
He's still on the back straight though.
If Devite can hold this pace up through the rest of the sectors up in his own time, this will probably put him into pole position or second. We'll wait and see. Is Robert still purple? Sorry, we can. Well, once Tom crossed the line, we can focus on Robert Riesenmuller coming through sector 2 is purple. Tom Lee not going to improve on this lap.
Right, so let's quickly go to Wiesenmuller. He's still up on his time as is. He's up on he's up on Ely's time as is Tveit, and Kilo's also going faster. So who will be out on top? We've also got Strana. So this is all kicking off now in the final moments of quality. The checker flag has already dropped. Wiesenmuller comes across the line for his final lap of race 2 qualifying.
Will it be pole position for Robert Wiesenmuller for THR Red? And
no, it
what's
won't.
he done?
He's improved his time, but he didn't get a game decision. Eric
Tveit
Tveit parked it.
That's unfortunate.
Tveit parked it just in the final section. I don't know what's happened to him. Kilo's still going faster. Oh, and Eric Strana's third.
Yep, good luck from Eric Strana.
So we have a tenth separating the top 5. Kilo's the only guy who's actually now properly on the lap though.
Yep, Eric Devite, of course, parked his car even though it's showing as purple. And all these top 4 guys definitely improving on their lap times. Tommy Lee and Robert Wiesenmuller have crossed the line. Simon Keelov is about to. Strand's crossed the line, a fantastic third after his win in race 1. Keelov, will he be able to improve on that 4th position? Will he be able to take pole even? The same way as he did in race 1, comes across the line? It's not quick enough.
No. So we have less than a tenth separating the top 5 drivers, and well, it might have been even closer if Eric Tveit hadn't have parked his car. I'm guessing he made a mistake or not to be sort of.
Yep.
Oh,
I must have missed that, sorry. But I think that might be all of the drivers finished their qualifying laps, and it looks like it is. So we're just going to quickly show you a promo trailer. Actually, we'll wait till David Jones cross the line.
Yes. So as we said earlier, we've got round 2 of the Tom Owenslow called Clio Series. One of the the largest ever prize, biggest ever prize.
Independent sim racing, yeah.
In an independent sim racing series. So let's just quickly go out of this and into the promotional video.
And we are back now live from Campo Grande for round 2 of the Virtual Mini Challenge Season 2. And we've just had a qualifying session, and we're going to run you through the grid in case you missed any of that. So right now, currently, wait a minute, I'm not even sure if, I think someone might have left, or Tommy Lee, pole position. Looks like, sorry about the confusion there, I was forgetting who was on pole. Tommy Lee, I think, got the pole position from Robert Wiesenmuller on the front row. Eric Strana qualified in 3rd position after his incredible Race 1 win, which he will be absolutely delighted about and looking to repeat that. Simon Kilov, only representative for Precision Motorsports, in 4th position in that bright yellow Mini. He would have been disappointed. He led almost every lap of the first race before it all came undone on the first turn of the last lap through no fault of anyone else's. It was a mistake. A bit of an experience showing there. He ran wide, and Eric Strana capitalised on the move and held the lead. In 5th position is Eric Tveit. Didn't qualify last time and fought his way through to pick up a points position. He'll be maybe a dark horse to get a good result in this race. Not sure if he has quite enough pace, to challenge for a win, but definitely a top 8 on the cards for Eric Tveit. Chris Butcher in 6th. It's probably be disappointed with that. It kind of carries on after his disappointing race 1 result. He had good pace in qualifying and just didn't seem to quite get it together in the race. Made a few mistakes, I think. Dropped back from the slipstream, and he qualifies in 6th position. And I think it is Dan Allenson in 7th on the grid. Thomas Matazowski in 8th. Both of these drivers showing probably unexpected pace in race 1. We might not have expected them to go that quickly, and they did. So great results for both Dan Allenson and Thomas Matazowski, both picking up top 5s. David Zafiu starting 11th, I think it's 8th he's starting actually. Jimmy Hughes in 9th, and Chris Dark rounds out the top 10 for qualifying. So it's quite hard to tell which positions we're in because we're having some warm-up laps come in. But I'll try and keep us on track a little bit. Soren Mogensen.
I think we should just leave the rest until the formation.
Yeah, warm-up lap. Good idea. Yeah. So we'll run you through. That's the top 10 anyway, ending in Chris Dark. So we'll run you through the rest of the grid once we're finished warm-up. But let's make our predictions right now. So Bradley, who's your, as the Americans would say, stud and dud? Who's your stud and dud and one to watch for this race?
I think I'm going to go with Tom Ely. He was clearly one of the fastest, as were anyone in that top 5 group. But he was just a bit unfortunate last time, as just he was going to go into 2nd position. There was contact with Wiesenmuller, and that when he ruined the rest of the race. And then with the supposed crash on the final lap.
Close.
Yeah, and with the crash on the final lap, it just summed up his race really. It's almost like a really Linkin Park song. In the end, try so hard, and then when you get to the end, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Nope. And that's the disappointing end for Tom Ely in that last race. Brilliant analogy there by one and only Bradley Vanian. But yeah, I think for me, the man I think will take away this win is Robert Wiesenmuller, because he was unfortunate. He lost the position due to a great move from Strane, as Wiesenmuller was piling the pressure on Kilov throughout that whole race, and just lost the 2nd position a couple laps from the end, and that ended up costing him the win because Eric Strane was then there to pick up the pieces of Kilov's mistake. So I'd put my money on Robert Wiesenmuller, and I think the one to watch in this race, I have to agree with Bradley. It's probably got to be Tom Ely. Showed great pace and got taken out in the last turn. He'll be definitely looking for a better result, and I think he's got to be the one to watch because he wasn't in that top 2 throughout the whole race. He was fighting for the top 2. He was in 3rd and 4th. I think he had an incident, made contact with Wiesenmuller at one point, dropped back, so he wasn't right up there in the top 2 positions. And I think this time he could be the one to watch, and he could be the one to just destroy the rhythm of Kilov, Wiesenmuller, and Strane. So we're going to go to the grid now. So I think I'll continue with the grid. Chris Dark was actually in 11th on the grid instead of 10th. Louis Fernandez will be starting in 12th position, hard charger from Curitiba. 13th is Adrian Holm, teammate to Eric Strane. He showed.
Right,
I think he showed slightly.
I think we should wait up and see everyone on the grid. So yeah, Jimmy Hughes in 10th. So that's not too bad of a qualifying session with Chris Dark, THR driver, THR Green, number 88 in 11th. Louis Fernandez, number 9 in that sort of default blue and white livery, 12th. Do you want to go for the rest of the grid?
Yep, Adrian Holm, teammate Eric Strane in 13th position. He had slightly more pace than Curitiba, I think, so he may be a bit disappointed with his pace here. Davy van der Venne in 14th, the leading driver out of ADR at the moment. Soren
I've just
Mogensen.
noticed, yeah, where's the hell's Van der Velde? He's nowhere near him this time.
If there's more than one car between them, then it's a surprise. But Soren Mogensen in 15th, Toby Davis, the disappointment of the event, some would say, in 16th position. probably looking to get this one over and done with. Razvan in 17th, ahead of his walk racing teammate Carmendaru Bogdan in 18th. Xavier De Carvalho in 19th, ahead of Andy van der Velde. There's the other ADR car, probably a bit too far away from his teammate for comfort in 20th. David Junt almost crashing on the warm-up lap in 21st, ahead of the surprisingly fast at this event, Jonathan Ockercliffe, slightly worse quality than last time, in 22nd. James Johnson, THR Green, 23rd, had a DNF in race 1, he'll be looking for a better result. Rico Arnold in 24th, ahead of Ryan Callan, racing for TBS in 25th position. Scott Slovic for Optimum Sim Racing, looking for a better result in 26th on the grid. Ray Lilly starts 27th.
Oh,
we got a crash! Walk Racing, I think.
That's Chris Sykes. Sorry, that's Chris Sykes there.
Yep.
I don't think Chris Sykes took part in race 1, but he's on the back of the grid here for race 2. That's not a good way to start your season.
Definitely not. I think he was just caught by surprise by the slowing cars.
Yep.
Ray Lilly, so we'll continue there after that bit of drama. Ray Lilly in 27th. Matt Richards is slightly disappointing 28th in his mini debut. Niels Brugman, I think brother from not, I think I'm right in that, to Lars Brugman in 29th. And rounding out the field is the almost DNF'd already, Chris Sykes in 30th, and he'll be hoping that all his bad luck's run out already. And then multi-BC.
Now this is extreme warming up your tyres. He's warming his tyres about 5 grid slots from where he should be.
Yep. Which is kind of what you have to do if you really want that greatest chance of holding on to the lead. Tommy Lee definitely looking to get a good race start, as we have a lovely picturesque view of the rest of the racetrack. And Tommy Lee lines up his car for race 2 here at Campo Grande, ahead of the always quick Robert
And the light's going out though.
And we're about to go green, and we are green now.
And it's a poor start from whoever is in 3rd, which is obviously Eric Tveit. Sorry, Eric Strana actually.
Yep. And Kilov's got ahead. And there's already shuffling going on. Looks like someone's been trying to make an ambitious move down the inside. Slight contact as we see all the cars streaming through. Good start for the walk racing guys, reasonably high up there in 6th and 8th it looks like. But yeah, Tommy Lee has got away in the lead. He did get that good start, and it has paid dividends, leading from Robert Wiesemüller and race 1 leader Simon Kilov in 3rd.
Yeah, it's really close as well, and Eric Schrana's dropped down to 7th, which is really disappointing for him after his win, just about 15 minutes ago. It seems so long ago now.
The roller coaster that is TPS, and it's sideways. Butcher's really sideways, and he's just not got the grips of this car at the moment. He just seems to be struggling to hold on. This time Eric Tveit made his way. He's replacing Strana at the moment, unless Strana can get back up to that front group. And he needs to be careful, Strana, because if he isn't, he's going to lose the slipstream to these front guys, which is already looking like it's taking place. And he's just not going to have any hope of winning this race. So he really needs to get himself back up to front. Eric Tveit, a much better qualifying this time, because he didn't actually take part in qualifying for the last race, and he's going for 3rd.
I think he might even be able to try to overtake Wiesemüller. And look at this, we're almost going 3 wide, and there's contact between Kilo and it's fine. That's big contact. That was rather aggressive.
Yep,
not what you want to see, but this is touring car racing, and contact will occur.
Yeah, I think Kilov just wanted to hold on to that position really badly. Seemed to close Tveit on the inside, but Tveit managed to get the position in the end. And Tom Haley's got himself a fantastic start away from Robert Wiesemüller. He needs to try and go for it, because if not, Robert's just going to get in that slipstream and close that gap right down.
And I was just going to mention that about, we've both been predicting. Oh, got contact there, so more contact between the Norwegian.
Oh, Tveit's run wide. Oh, and it's Kilov's run wide, and that means
Butcher. And he's both of them. What a move there from Butcher. So you're saying that he didn't really get to grips with the car. He absolutely. That was. Oh.
EHR always proving us wrong, it looks like. But Chris Butcher, he did show. I know we saw instance from him in race 1, but we know he has good enough pace to be able to at least stake in the slipstream and get a good result. So that's definitely promising for him. He knows he's got the chance. He just needs to take it with both hands.
Yeah,
and not crash his car.
Oh wow.
Right.
Well, yeah, Tveit just going straight down the inside of Butcher, but that's never going to work.
Side by side,
no. Corner.
No, undercut by Chris Butcher. Looks like Tveit went. It was a really good move by Tveit. At least he's going for a move. But yeah, he just went straight on, and it didn't quite pay off. Eric Strand in a disappointing 7th. Matuzowski, you could say disappointed in 8th, although that's still a decent result. And we're going into the the long turn 6. Left-hander.
Between Kilo and Strana.
I think Kilov, now that he's not out there in the lead in his own, he's feeling slightly less comfortable. He's making a few mistakes, a bit more contact, and he just doesn't have that kind of that leading confidence
Yeah.
feel
Well,
to just
I
hold
think-
on, and he's losing positions.
I think that's something just in sort of in the whole of Kilov. It isn't just this. It isn't just this round. It isn't just this series.
Good move, Stran.
That was a very good move there from Eric. So that
Aggressive
moves him
but
into
fair.
6th position. And
Yep.
yeah, no one seems to have noticed Allenson. he's in 5th again.
Yeah.
He finished 5th last time with a great result. You know, TPS
Yeah.
top 5 is quite hard, and well,
It's very hard.
And we got Bite on the inside of Butcher. No, he
No.
hit the curve too much on the inside.
Not going to work there. But yeah, Dan Allenson really flying the flag for Walk Racing at the moment. Top 5 in race 1. He's ahead of race 1 winner, and he's in the top 5 position in race 2. So he's and also of course you can't forget David Zaffiu and Jimmy Hughes definitely holding their own as well in the top 10. So good. This is a good race so far for Walk Racing, and also a very good race so far for Tom Ely, who's built up a 1.1 second gap from Robert Wiesenmüller, who is in turn 1.1 or 1.2 seconds ahead of his THR Red teammate Chris Butcher.
I've also noticed that Toby Davis, one of the THR owners, has moved up from 16th to 12th, which isn't bad, especially since he's out to get some pretty quick drivers together. He was in this sort of position last time, but last time there was an absolutely massive group. Don't think we'll see the same sort of thing this time. Seems to be a bit more spread out, but we've still got this battle between Van der Venne and Dark.
Van der Venne, is he going to make a move down the inside?
Nope.
I don't know if he is. Chris
No.
Dark doing good defending driving, good defensive driving.
Oh, 3 wide.
Oh,
more
contact.
coming. I think that might be Juntu might go off in the end.
Yep. It looks like Van der Venne, Bogdan, Mokinson, sorry, and I don't think it. Sorry, it was David.
Yeah,
Jim.
this is 15th to 21st. Bognesson's leading this group, and Razvan's at the back of it.
Oh, Van der Velde, a very aggressive move down the inside. I think he's going to gain a few positions from that, but then he's on the outside for this corner. And more contact with David John, and now Van der Velde's going down the inside of Karmadaru Bogdan, and absolutely stunning racing going on back here. But what I was going to say, Tom Ely setting the fastest lap. I don't think the characteristics of this race are going to be exactly the same as the first, because we don't have Simon Kilov, we don't have Strana, Kilov, Wiesenmüller, all these guys aren't in a big train at the front, so all the fastest, you could say fastest one lap pace men, this time it's been replaced by Butcher and Tveit, and I don't think they're quite holding on to Robert Wiesenmüller, who in turn isn't really holding on to Tom Ely at the moment.
Yeah, well, this battle, if I could watch this battle all day, I seriously would, but most important thing is the battle for the lead. So if we can just get to that. Oh, it's also Ryan Callan who hasn't actually gained any position. He's in 25th, so that's dreadful.
Disappointing. And Matazowski.
Yeah, it is very disappointing.
Sorry, I thought Matazowski was down 24th there, but it's quickly changed and he's in 8th.
Oh.
And got sideways, David Junt, sideways.
Oh, nah, it's quite easy to see that Junt hasn't got much experience in these cars.
Yep,
free wide. I want to get to the lead battle,
dear.
but when you've got action like this, how can you?
Exactly. And it looks like, it does look like there's a great battle going on for third between Tveit and Butcher at the moment. But this battle back here is so interesting, it's difficult to leave. As we're going into the corner, Junt's down the inside of Bogdan again. I think we'll just stick with him just until it's settled down a little bit, because there's fantastic racing and it's showing what the minis are all about, and giving the guys that are not right at the top of the field a bit of screen time as well.
Oh,
As Junt,
free wide!
oh man, brilliant
Oh.
action going down here. Adrian Holm getting involved as well. Eric Strana, race 1 winner's teammate. And he'll definitely be looking to make up a few positions. He's behind Van der Velde at the moment, and he also needs to be careful because he's got Javier De Carvalho right behind him, and James Johnson in 21st looking for a better result than his DNF in race 1. And I think that's settled down a little bit, so we can go back to the leaders.
Yes, we can. So Tom Ely. Oh, sorry.
Hello, pit lane. There we go. Look at that lead he's got.
Yeah,
I
he
think
got a
Wiesenmüller-
1.5 second lead. Meanwhile, Wiesenmüller's got a second lead gap now to Tveit.
I think Wiesenmüller will be disappointed with the way this is going so far, because he was definitely in the top 2 for pace going into both of these races, and he showed it in race 1. Although Ely was no slouch at all himself, he was quickest in practice and got pole for this race. But I think he'll be disappointed that Tom Ely's managed to build that gap and get away, especially because Roberts had the slipstream and he's got no one behind him to really take away his time. Tveit's doing an absolutely phenomenal job up there in 3rd. And he told me he'd win a race, so that's definitely not impossible. We'll need to wait and see. Chris Butcher in 4th, better than race 1, but still not quite what he'll be looking for. If he wants to win this championship, he needs to be right up there in the top 3. Strana in 5th position, which is not bad considering he was down in 7th earlier. And sorry, we've got a pop-up there. Someone's obviously left team viewer.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there.
Dan Allenson in 6th position. ahead of Simon Kielov in a disappointing 7th. Thomas Matazowski is not the kind of man you want behind you, especially at this track, because he's shown great pace and definitely shown that he can fight amongst the leaders. So Kielov needs to be wary if he wants to make up these positions. He's also got to fend. He might need to fend off Thomas Matazowski as well.
Yeah, I'm just making sure everything's alright with the broadcast. Meanwhile, yeah, I don't know, who do you think will come out on top between this battle between Tveit and Butcher? Would you say that Butcher got the pace over Tveit?
I think it's hard to tell. I think Tveit's got a slight toe from Robert Wiesenmüller, and of course Butcher's got a toe from Tveit. Tveit's shown in World Touring Masters that he's an absolutely phenomenal. He can be an absolutely phenomenal racer, because we know how difficult those cars are to drive, and to be able to take it to race victory after race victory, and really gets a brilliant second in the championship. He definitely shown that he can fight for with the very, very best in the Touring Pro Series. Chris Butcher has been established for years with THR, an absolutely brilliant driver, and he's always up there fighting for victories no matter what he does. And as we've said about a million times, and everyone's tired of hearing, he's the Red Bull Grizzlers champion from 2012. And that's definitely not a bad accolade to have. I think he won't mind me saying it about a million times.
No, I don't know. I think you said so many things. It's one of the things that Butcher wants people to stop saying about him.
Yeah. Yep. But yep, he's in 4th, and I'm not sure if he finished this race about where he is just now. I'm not sure he'll be too happy with the event, considering his race win at Curitiba, and yeah, he just doesn't seem to have the best pace here today.
Yeah, well, if you're leading the championship and then the next round you get, well, you know, you can't even get a podium, that's obviously
it's demoralising.
You're going to be disappointed.
Yep. And I think, but looking at the lead battle at the moment, Tommy Lee's setting fastest laps. Do you think he'll be using up his tyres more than Robert Wiesenmüller, or do you think that's just his legitimate, pace over? Do you think he's just got the better pace over Robert, or do you think he's maybe saving his tyres a bit?
I think a bit of both. Obviously, tyre wear is crucial in these cars due to the front wheel drive, drivetrain. You know, the front tyres wear very quickly. But you also want to try and, you also want to try and, make sure that your pace is quick early on, so you can try and avoid maybe slower cars who may be also pushing on early on. You know, if you're careful at the start, you could end up getting into battles that you don't want to be in, and then you've lost too much time near the end of the race when your tyres are good, or you end up battling and end up wearing your tyres without being quick. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the gap is increasing. So Ely, I think Ely's properly going for it at the moment, just trying to get out of that toe. And let's just wait and see if this race develops into a really good battle between the two of them. Robert, if he's managing to save his tyres and he's got a little bit of pace left in, scraping the bottom of the barrel for a bit of pace, maybe he can close the gap to Tommy Lee towards the end if tyre wear becomes an issue, which we do see quite a few series in Touring Pro Series. World Touring Masters, the drivers having to make pit stops. The Clios, they would make pit stops if the races were a bit longer, because the tyre wear, you do lose, more than a second a lap eventually, if you're rubbish on tyres like me. But that really does show you when the best of the drivers they do shine through, because they can save their tyres and be incredibly quick. And I think that's what Tommy Lee is, one of those best drivers, as a massive contact.
Bogdan's been clipped by Xavier da Carvalho. No, Xavier's now off, and he's lost position to James Johnson. So Bogdan managed to control it. Xavier ended up on the grass. Meanwhile, Callan's got past Sovic for the final points position.
Oh, and Scott's looking down the inside. Ooh.
And there's also
Sovic will be glad to be battling with Ryan Callan.
And there's also his teammate Jonathan Orca Clint right behind, so maybe they can work together to fend off some drivers.
Yep. It'll be good for these, the drivers near the back of the field. It'll be good for them to be battling and beating drivers, a driver with as much accolades as Ryan Callan, because we know how quick he is. Even in front wheel drives. He's won many races in the Clios. So to be on par with him for pace and results is definitely a good thing. As it looks like Niels Brugman is
and
down
Ray
the inside.
Lilly off as well.
Yep, a battle for the wooden spoon at the moment. Matt Richards, Niels Brugman, and Ray Lilly.
Yeah, Ray Lilly's clearly clicked the wrong app on his phone. He also Chris Sykes out of the race, so it looks like that formation lap debacle set the tone for the rest of the race. Tom Edie's now extended his gap to 2 seconds over Wiesenmüller. Eric Twice keeping a stable gap to Butcher, and Strana's now right on the back of Butcher. So as On Ice Cold driver gets away from Butcher, another one closes in.
Yeah, this battle between Strana and Butcher will definitely be helping Eric Tveit just try and get out of that slipstream. And we know how quick Strana is, obviously proving it in the last race. And if he can just get past Butcher, and if these two start battling harder, Strana's either going to be holding up Butcher.
He's on the island inside, he's just taken the position.
Yep, brilliant move. And if he can hold up Butcher, that'll help Tveit, as Butcher doesn't seem... I don't know if that... I think that's his brake lights. But yep, Strana can either hold up Butcher or he can go in the offence and try and catch Eric Tveit. And I think I know which one he'll do, because he's fighting for this championship, and Tveit, you could say, already is not really looking like... He's not looking like a main championship contender. He definitely has good pace for maybe a top 5, but I think the championship's slightly out of his reach in this series. Eric Strand, though, judging by what we've seen so far, definitely has a good chance, as does the man going down the inside right now, Chris Butcher. Gonna retake the position, is he? We've seen that you can hang on around the outside here. Beeson proved it, but no. Oh no, he's still alongside. He's got a good exit.
Well, last time we saw Strana going round the outside of Butcher to get second place on the final lap of Curitiba. This time he's managed to defend around the outside.
Oh, he's going deep though. He's gone deep, and Butcher's down the inside again. These two have been side by side for the entire lap, and Butcher does make the move stick. But obviously we're going to wait till the next corner, and that might be reversed again. If Strand can get himself down the inside, he's shown superior pace to Chris Butcher throughout the couple of races and qualifying sessions. So yeah, Eric Strand definitely looking racy today. And he'll be looking. I think Eric Strand has a very realistic chance if he can keep up this kind of momentum throughout the whole season. He's got to be going for the championship.
Well, yeah, you know, before this round it was just THR and THR, but with Mealy and obviously Eric Strand, who have both shown very quick pace, just like they did last time. If they can try and keep this consistency, then I don't see why they can't.
Yep.
It's a shame that it's sort of a shame for Ushna that he didn't get a very good qualifying, as it meant that he just struggled in this race.
Yeah, you know, it's a bit surprising because we don't see him struggle often.
Very close there.
Bit of rubbing there.
Oh, sorry, got massive alley. Look at this. See, Kilo. Kilo's been really struggling in this race, and he's with sort of his former team, Walk Racing here. Bloody gang beat here. Also THR. That'll be Maciejewski who's been struggling in this race. So it seems like a lot of drivers may have had poor qualifying and even poor starts that have just set the tone for the rest of the race. I need to stop saying set the tone.
No, it's true though. It's completely true. I mean, having a bad qualifying session can really scupper your race. It means that you end up in the wrong battles, and eventually you're too far behind to be in the slipstream, and it has a massive impact on your race. And Kilov's proving that. He led the entire race until the last lap in the first race, and I mean now look at him. He was in 7th, and now he's back to 8th. He's just going backwards, and he's probably the quickest. Well, you could say he was the quickest driver in the field, but definitely not in this race, as he's been passed by the charging. I think that was Zafayu passing him. If I'm not, is that Dan Allen? No, Dan Allison's ahead.
He's now into 7th place, and a few seconds ahead is one of his teammates, Dan Allison.
Yeah, Toby Davis obviously looking for a move as well. He'll be looking to get some revenge. Well, not revenge. Well, I guess because Toby Davis and Simon Kilov did actually have a really good battle at Albert Park, which had a little bit of contact. So these two drivers are definitely no love lost between them. But I'm speaking rubbish because it's Thomas Matusowski, not Toby Davis. So just ignore me completely. Toby Davis is back in 12th. So I mean, he's not too far behind, but that's not the driver I was thinking it was. So sorry about that.
Yeah, also got Luis Fernandez. He's been in a lot of action, not only in this round, but also in the previous round, and here he is fighting for a top 10 with Walk Racing Jimmy Hughes.
Yep, sorry, I think Strada and Butcher's battle, they've lost, they're 3 seconds behind Eric Tveit, so something's happened there. I don't know if they've been holding each other. I mean, look at that gap.
Well, I've got to say, I think that's just genuine sort of just fighting in pace. As,
I agree.
Chris Butcher was about second and a half behind Tveit when Strana caught him up. So with a couple of laps fighting, that gap can really increase, especially when people going around the outside and around the inside all the time. Having such varying lines can really slow you down. Oh, more contact. Well, more contact. I don't know where from the more came from, but either way, it's contact that I don't think Butcher would have liked.
Yeah, and Eric Tveit will just be sitting there laughing because he's got no cars in his mirror anymore. He's over 3 seconds ahead of these guys, and he'll just be driving around. And he's only 1.2 behind Robert Wiesenmuller. So Eric Tveit, after a disappointing start to the event, could still be on for a podium and maybe possibly even a top 2. Well, and you could say there's even a chance of a win because any of these drivers in front could have a mistake, or Tom Mealy can just be reeled in by Wiesenmuller if he's gone too hard on his tyres, and Tveit could be there as well. So yeah, the race definitely isn't over. It looks like Tom Mealy's definitely got the upper hand right now, and he'll be happy with the way it's going. We've just got to see if his tyres can last. As Kilov, it looks like they're going down the inside of Zafayu there, under braking. Can he make the move stick? He's really squirmy under brakes. There's going to be contact in mid-corner, and there it is. Quite predictable.
Nice prediction there.
Yep, and Keeloff is down the inside and he's made the move stick, so he's a little bit tentative there, going a bit sideways under brakes, but after a bit of rubbing there, he has made the move stick, so Simon Keeloff could move up to 7th, although that's not the position. I mean, if someone said to him, oh, you'll be in 7th in race 2, he definitely would not have taken that.
I've got to say, since race 1 there's been some very different performances. Tom Ely's performance hasn't been different at all, you know, that he paced, but obviously the final result should be different. Instead of a DNF, it should be first. You know, Keeloff was leading most of the last race, and now he's down in 7th.
Yeah.
Muller's got a similar performance, but Strana won last race, and now he's down in 5th, and earlier he was down in 8th, as we have Chris Dark and Toby Davis. So Chris Dark is not helping his one of his team bosses at all, really.
Yeah, I think Chris Dark will just be happy to be up there battling with Toby. So Matazowski's obviously had a problem because he's behind those two and he was ahead. As we see more battling there, it looks like is that Scott Sovic being passed by Razvan.
Oh, big contact between him and Razvan.
Yeah, I just noticed actually that Racing Miller has less than a second behind him to Eric Tveit. So there's definitely still racing left. It's racing to be done here. It's definitely not over.
Especially with the long back straight. So if you can just get in touch with the slipstream, well, who knows?
Exactly.
Oh, Callan. That'll be Callan and Magnusson. No, sorry, that's Bogdan. That's Bogdan trying to get ahead of Callan. Callan has been in 16th place the last couple of laps.
Bogdan, team owner of Walk Racing, and he'll be delighted with how his team have been performing across many different series, showing well here in the virtual minis with a top 5 for Allenson, good results for Jimmy Hughes as well, and yeah, they're just generally showing they've got pace, they've got potential to be fighting up there with the leaders. Maybe not quite yet, just enough to be. I mean, I say that they were winning races in the ATCC, but in this series now without Keeloff and Lauritsen, drivers such as that, as Carpenter goes quite close to Callan. Callan gets sideways, and now Magnusson's down the inside.
Sorry, that's Carvalho.
Sorry, Carvalho, teammates there. But yeah, Walk Racing definitely putting a good show on in their first couple of years with TPS.
And talking about Carvalho and Magnusson, I think they've adapted really well to the TPS. This is their first TPS league. This is only their second ever round, and they've done really well for themselves. I'm really impressed by Madcape. In the last few months, they've really expanded as a team, you know, in the whole of sim racing, and it's really helping them. Meanwhile, sorry, Callum's been overtaken by Carvalho. I think there might be some contact maybe with Bogdan, because Carvalho is now looks to be about a second ahead.
Yep. And yeah, speaking of the drivers showing good pace, I mean we've seen there's been quite a few young talents in TPS just coming straight through. They may have been back markers at the start of their TPS career. I could just throw in a few names. Jonathan Ockercliffe showing great. He got into Division 1 for the V8 Supercars, which is definitely no mean feat, and he's definitely holding his own there. And here today, qualifying 13th for the last race. You've got Eric Strane, young talent from Sweden or Norway, sorry. I know it's Sweden. It is Sweden, sorry. But he's been showing great pace, and he's he didn't quite have the race-winning pace last season in any of the events.
Tom Ely's out of the race from the lead.
No, what has happened? See if we can get a replay.
It's not possible for me. Yeah.
Oh no, disaster for Tom Ely. I'm sorry we didn't catch that, but of course none of us were expecting it.
It's a DNF. I think he's had some sort of technical problem.
I'm going to see if I can find out.
Well, either way, I think that's his championship over. That's his second DNF in a row. When he was on course for a podium last time, now a win this time. Absolutely disastrous for him.
Can we follow the leaders, Bradley? Sorry. Can you, as you're talking, I'm just noticing that Eric Tveit is right up on the back of Racing Oh, maybe not. Well,
yeah,
it's
I was trying
showing
to
6 tenths.
Battle between Butcher, Strana and Allenson, because when Butcher and Strana have been fighting, Allenson's just been closing in and in. We saw that last race, Allenson was able to actually be faster than Butcher and end up overtaking him to get 5th position in the end. And it looks like a similar story today. This race as well.
Yeah,
Strana,
and Allenson top 5 again.
I think Butcher's experience is keeping him here in this podium position. He's able to defend exactly. He doesn't have the pace of Allenson and Strana, or at least it doesn't seem like it, but he's able to defend lap in, lap out to keep that 3rd position. Obviously it was 4th position until just a lap ago. Wow. Tom Ely will be kicking whatever it was that ended up with him not winning this race. Whatever it was, he will be absolutely kicking it, and well, well.
I'm gonna see if we can find out what happened.
Whatever it was. If it was a person, they'd be dead. If it was a computer part, it'd be broken.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and find out what happened to him, and. That's not much of an answer, Tom. Come on, give me a better answer than that. No, he's just about to give me an answer, I think. But yeah, it's just gutting for him. One man who benefits from that is Eric de Veit, who's only 3/10 behind Robert Wiesemüller now for the lead of the race. He was sitting in third. I mean, earlier in this race, he was sitting third or fourth. You know, thinking, okay, this is a good result, a top 5. And now look at him battling out for the lead with Robert Wiesemüller. Of course, he'll be disappointed that his teammate is out the race for the constructors, but now he's going for the race win.
Now, what did he tell you before the race?
And I'm hearing actually Tom Ely disconnected. It was just a disconnection, which is an absolutely terrible, because it's no fault of his own. Absolutely terrible luck for Tom Ely. And yeah, that's just such a shame. He was out in the lead by a long way, and he'll be absolutely gutted with that. But you know, we know Tom Ely, he's always quick, and he will bounce back from this. But yeah, as you were saying, Eric de Veit, he did tell me he was going to win the race beforehand, and I was laughing. I was completely not believing him and thinking, okay, maybe yeah, we know he's quick. You know he's going to get, he could be in with a chance of the top 5. And definitely when he didn't show up for quali in race 1, I was thinking, okay. But just now,
sorry,
proved me wrong.
Wiesemüller's gone slightly wide, and Spite's on the inside.
There's contact.
Spite said to you before this race that he will win a race, and well, he's living up. He really is living up to it, isn't it?
Yep. And I think actually, Tom Ely, if he'd finished that race in the lead, he would actually be leading the driver's standings. So that's really, really heartbreaking for him. But as we're seeing, Eric de Veit, we said he wouldn't win, but I mean, and we also said, you know, as these guys were spread out, we thought, okay, this race is maybe not going to provide the best of action, but it could still, and that's just proved it. I mean, look at this. We've got 2/10 in it between first and second place. Wiesemüller going down the inside as the defensive line is turn 1. But if he gets his braking slightly wrong, he's going to be going straight on. de Veit's going to be around the outside, but he's going to do the cutback. So this is a good driving by de Veit, just trying to keep the pressure on Wiesemüller, because he knows he's not going to be able to dive down the inside. And now he's just right up on his tail. Wiesemüller will be, you know, who the heck's behind me? How's this happened? You would have thought, you know, where's Eric come from? But de Veit is just flying at the moment.
This is the classic fight. It's exactly what we've seen before from him, especially in these sprint events, when all of a sudden he just steps up a completely new level, and he's just on a charge.
He never fails to surprise, does he?
Mhm. Yeah.
And
so in
he's
the start
looking
of his
for.
career, in the start of his TPS career, he was the crashy guy. He was the Grosjean, the Maldonado. He was the Cesaris.
Yeah.
Now,
just by the way, go on, type in V8. Was it Barbagal V8s?
Oh
if you
yeah.
want to see a demonstration of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we better concentrate on a bit more important things, which is Eric de Veit battling for the lead of this race. There's contact between the two.
Now he's turned into a bloody Ayrton Senna with these moves. This is absolutely extraordinary from him.
Yeah, it's Prost and Senna right now. Wiesemüller, Wiesemüller's round the outside, and de Veit's going to make the move. And Eric de Veit is looking to make it the second Scandinavian ice cold racing driver in a row to win in the Virtual Mini Challenge, and he takes the lead, and he has proved me completely wrong. I'm sure he'll be kicking me after, well, I don't actually, that doesn't make sense, but he will definitely be gloating at me after this race if he does indeed win, which it looks like he's got a good chance of at this moment. Dan Allenson suddenly finds himself with a chance of a podium right now.
Well, yeah, he got 5th last time. He's currently in 5th now with two laps to go. Wiesemüller is still behind Spite, but could very easily make a move. And something I've got to say, in the last couple of weeks, Ice Cold Racing have just been magnificent. And compared to THR, they've been really fighting with THR. Last time they got podiums, they were fighting for wins, and now they are taking both of the wins. Absolutely brilliant for them. The last time that Ice Cold Racing took both wins in an event like this was the
Virtual Clios.
Yeah, the Clios with Gary Lennon at Poznan.
Yep, and obviously World Touring Masters, Eric de Veit, when he won in World Touring Masters, that wasn't for Ice Cold. So I mean, the first TPS victories for Ice Cold was Gary Lennon. We're winning those 2 Poznan races in the Clios, and the second, and then next we've got Eric Strand winning incredibly race 1 of this. And it looks like Eric de Veit, if he can just fend off Robert Wiesemüller, which is definitely not easy. You know, it's still 50-50 between the two of them, because we know how easy it is to make a mistake on the last lap, or how much difference the toll makes. As we saw when Eric caught and passed Robert, so it's definitely not over. But yeah, I'm very happy to be involved in the Ice Cold Racing Corporation. They really are, you know, building as a young team and just really trying to take the fight to
Butcher.
teams like THR and Precision as Butcher goes down the inside of Strana, but he's going to go straight on surely. He's got it slowed down somehow. Strana comes with a cutback. There's a bit of contact, but that's just rubbing racing. And Butcher keeps his car down the inside, and he's forced off the track on the inside. Holds his position though. He definitely doesn't want to, as you can see, he definitely doesn't want to concede this position. And Strana's like, Strana just doesn't listen. Strana just goes straight down the outside. Brilliant move from Eric Strana. As we're now in the final lap, so let's focus on the leaders.
Side by side here for the lead.
Yep, Eric Tveit for Ice Cold Racing, number 83, fending off number 3 Robert Wiesenmuller, looking for his second win of the season in race 4, round 2 here at Campo Grande, and it looks like, yeah, Wiesenmuller's just right on the back. He's just putting all the pressure on Tveit, but Tveit's run before, so we know that he can handle the pressure. Let's see if he does this time.
Wow, Tveit's really excelling as a driver. This will be his first win in a TPS series other than the World Touring Masters.
The first team win.
Got a very good run though. Wiesenmuller's got an excellent run onto this back straight.
This is where it matters, because this back straight, there's such a big slipstream advantage at this track, and Tveit's just going to keep his car down the inside, as you're seeing right now. He's just holding it to the left-hand side of the track. Wiesenmuller's he's going to have to go. He is going to try and go around the inside. Why didn't Tveit close that further? Wiesenmuller's going to go straight on, surely.
No,
there's contact
between the two.
Oh, and a fantastic move by Wiesenmuller. Tveit somehow keeps more contact. Absolutely smashing into each other, and I thought Wiesenmuller had it covered there. A brilliant move, but Tveit just says no thank you. Wiesenmuller's off.
He's off.
Don't roll it, Robert, don't roll it. And he's gone wide, and that surely is it over now. Robert Wiesenmuller just went for a do or die move down the inside, almost rolled the car, but at least he's going to be content with the top 2. But here we go, round the final turn. It's going to be 2 wins in a row for the Scandinavian contingent in Ice Cold. This time it's not Eric Strana, it's the other Eric Tveit, who crosses the line to win race 2. Round 2 here at the Virtual Mini Challenge Season 2 at what's the track called? Campo Grande, there's the one.
Yeah, Campo Grande. Wiesenmuller exited the track pretty quickly, so I don't think he's too happy with the that final lap. Eric Strana gets 3rd, Butcher 4th, Alanson ends up getting 5th, even though I noticed he was at 4th ahead of Butcher at one time during that final lap. Zafiu gets 6th, a great performance there behind his teammate. Kilo ends up in 7th, that's rather disappointing for him. Jimmy Hughes completes the pretty good round forward, Walk Racing in 8th position. Masterzinski 9th. Dark is 10th, ahead of Toby Davis, one of the THR owners. Thunder Venny on his own this time for AD Racing in 12th. His teammate was not even in the points. Mognuson 13th for Mad K Black. Fernandez 14th for I knew said Optimum then. Opium. Zavidar Carvalho in 15th. Scott Sovic and Jonathan Orca both getting points for Optimum Sim Racing. Adrian Holm 18th for Ice Cold Swede Team, teammates to Eric Strana. Razvan in 19th for Water Racing, and Reiko Arnold picking up the final point for THR Blue.
Yep, I think what we could take from that event is definitely this what would you call it? I'm not sure how you say it, but the Walk Racing, they found themselves 3 cars in the top 8, so that's one team that's definitely stamping their authority on the series. You know, just showing that we're here to break into that top group and go for wins. And of course, the other breakthrough team, Ice Cold Racing, you know, they've always been there, they've always been pushing, and they're just getting quicker and quicker. And I mean, look at them now, battling with THR and winning 2 races. Eric Strand picking up a 1st and a 3rd, and Tveit picking up a win, and of course didn't qualify for the first race and still managed a points position. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure who's going to be in the lead of the championship. I think it'll be Robert Wiesenmuller. Yeah, Eric Strand will not be far behind.
Yeah, it will be Wiesenmuller. He was only 2 points behind Butcher going into the round. I mean, Butcher's poor races, that will definitely put Wiesenmuller at the top. I think Strana might be 2nd ahead of Butcher thanks to his race 1 victory. But anyway, let's just wrap this up. We'll be away for a few minutes, and then we'll go to interviews.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we are back here after an absolutely fantastic couple of races in the Virtual Mini Challenge Season 2 from Campo Grande. And we're going to be joined by a couple of drivers right now. And me and Bradley are going to try and make our way through these interviews. So first of all, I'd like to speak to race 1 winner. Fantastic result for Eric Strana. So Eric, just talk us through, well, let's just start with the first race. Just talk us through, what you did during that race, what you focused on, and how you came out with the victory.
Well, as usual, I'm not very good at qualifying. Just try to keep up with Simon and Rob and the front runners, and then I managed to slowly but surely catch them. And then, yeah, Simon outbraked himself in turn 1 last lap. I threw myself on the inside, and that was enough to bring it home, thankfully.
Yep, and obviously you had a slightly more eventful race 2. But yeah, I mean, first and a third, what does this mean for your championship? Are you realistically aiming, to go out and win this championship, or are you just hoping for kind of top 3, top 5? What are your targets for the season?
I'm gonna miss 2 races, so I have no hopes for the championship whatsoever. So yep. Oh, it's nice to get a win. I wonder if I'm gonna keep it though, because I want to apologize to Chris Butcher as well, because we had a little run in that I know he's not very happy about, and we discussed it. So yeah. I wonder if I'm going to keep it. We'll see.
Okay, well done, Eric. Brilliant first race, and good luck for the rest of the season. And I think
Thanks.
Bradley has Eric to fight.
Yes, we do. So, Eric, this is the first time that you've been able to win outside of the World Touring Masters. Do you think? Well, yeah. Sorry. As I said, we are bad at interviews. But do you think that you can sort of do this again, or do you think that was just sort of a one-off victory for you?
Well, I think I got very strong race pace in minis, and I'm great at overtaking. So maybe 1 or 2 more victories in minis, I hope, but maybe not the WSS and Clios, and yeah.
And in race 1, we saw you starting at the back, and then you managed to have not a bad finishing position. We noticed that you gained quite a lot of position in the opening couple of laps. Was it quite easy to get through the back of the field?
Well, as I said earlier, I think I'm good at overtaking, so I was driving zigzag between the other cars going left, right, and center, and all over the track. So yeah.
Okay, so it's great to hear from you, Eric. I think next up we should talk to our provisional championship leader, and that is Robert Wiesemuller. So, Robert, you ended up getting podiums in both races, but you had quite a lot of contact along the way. What happened on the final lap with Tom Ely in race 1?
So what basically happened was that I was behind him going into the last corner, and I thought about making a move, but then I noticed I was too far back, tried to back out of it, braked a bit too late, and hit his car. So it was clearly my fault.
That's a bit of a shame. What happened with Eric's fight on as well on the final lap? It was a very heated battle. Obviously, you're both trying to get that win, very crucial win, especially for you as you're fighting for the championship with your teammate Chris Butcher. Would you say that it was fair racing or not?
Well, it was mostly fair racing, but I think into the long left, and Eric touched my car and pushed me a bit out of the way. And to be honest, I want to hear the opinion of the stewards about this move. I think I could have won the race. Then probably Tom should have won the race because he was leading by a mile until this game crashed. But yeah, I was really hoping to win the race, and then got a bit of contact. It was not bad, really, not a completely unfair move, but I think this was the deciding factor in the end, that he won the race and not I.
Okay, so thanks, Robert. So, John, have you got anyone else for interviews?
Well, unfortunately, we can't speak to Tom Ely or Chris Butcher, but we can speak to a man I was impressed with, especially race 1, Thomas Matazowski. So if you're here, Thomas, you had a very good qualifying in race 1, and yeah, you just seem to hold your own in that race. So just talk us through how that went for you.
Yeah, qualifying was pretty good for me. I had a slipstream on the mile straight, so I gained a lot of time here, and well, I did. I was 4th, I believe, and then the race I started good, but I lost places to ice cold drivers. But then I was just holding my place on the back of the leading pack, and well, I was just holding my place and keeping my tires fresh and not wearing them too much. And in the end, I finished fourth, I believe, after Tom crashed. And I'm really pleased with that. I think it's my best TPS finish so far, and I hope not the last one, and only will be better.
Yep, that was a really good race. Actually, speaking of the Tommy Lee incident on the last turn of race 1, we didn't actually catch it on the broadcast. So do you want to, if you can, do you want to talk us through what actually happened in that incident, if you can recall it?
I was behind Robert and Tom. I was really close behind them. I braked a bit earlier, and then I saw Tom going at quite a lot of speed into the wall, and that's all I saw, really.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that, Thomas, and great result in especially race 1, and that's good for the championship as well. I think
Thank
Bradley's now got Dan Allenson.
Yes, we have. So, well done, Dan, on your 2 fifth places. We saw that you were fighting for a podium as well in the final few laps of race 2. Do you think that you actually wanted 3rd place? And well, do you think you deserved 3rd place in that second race, or do you think that 5th is the best that you could have got?
I think I probably could have got a 3rd, but to be honest, it wasn't worth ruining the racing. I mean, I think Chris and myself displayed how to race fast and fair in race 1, and again, we were up there battling in race 2 as well. So there could have been a forceful move there if I'd have got a better run, maybe going into the last few laps. But I mean, what's the point in ruining good racing at the end of the day? And this track really did deliver it. As long as you're smooth through the corners. Those extra slipstreams down the straight, it just caught you back up to the pack. I mean, it was good. It was good racing. It was just I had a few problems last week, but it was just good to get back up on top and have some good races.
Okay, so well done on your performances, Dan. I think we just got one more interview. So, John, take it away.
Yep, I'd just like to round off the interviews by speaking to Chris Butcher. So you seem to struggle a little bit in those couple of races. Had good qualifying in race 1, but then seemed to have a few incidents and etc. in this couple of races. So can you just talk us through your event?
Yeah, well, I started the day actually not feeling too well, to be honest with you, and I thought that might impact on my pace, but got into the practice session and it wasn't too bad. I was managing to set pretty competitive times actually, and qualifying went well. And then early on in race 1, there was a bit of contact with Robert, unfortunately. I was a little bit unsighted on his inside, I think. Gave me a little bit of aero damage, and I lost a little bit of speed down on the straights. And then a bit later on, Strachan put a move on me in the hairpin onto the straight. A little bit questionable, but that saw me off track in the end of the race, really, for me on that one. And then race 2, my race pace had disappeared. I don't know what happened then, but it was a good battle with Dan in the end.
Yep. So I mean, what does this mean for your championship? Do you think you'll be able to bounce back and stay right up there in the championship, or do you think this might? Well, how do you think this will affect your championship?
It certainly put me on the back foot. But I'm confident in my ability to get back up there. I mean, I've shown I've got decent pace in these, so yeah, I just need to make sure I make the most out of the next races.
Yep. So well done to all the drivers there for taking part. I'm sorry we couldn't interview everyone, but I think Bradley's going to tell you how to get involved a bit with TouringProSeries and what you can do to keep in touch.
Completely. So obviously you can keep in touch with the TouringProSeries in many ways. There is the Facebook page, facebook.com/TouringProSeries. There is the Twitter page of twitter.com/touring_pro, and obviously there is the sim racing famous TouringProSeries YouTube channel where you can see all the highlights, replay broadcasts, just in case you want to maybe re-watch this broadcast, maybe watch other broadcasts, or maybe even if you missed this and you've just been watching the broadcast on replay, you can do whatever you want there. That's what it is for. And then next week we have 2 brilliant events which the TPS has lined up for you. The first of which is on the 10th of April, starting at 9:45 UK time, and that is a second round of the Tom Enzo Cole Clio series, so stay tuned for that. And then just 3 days later, we have second round of the Virtual V8 Supercars 2013 series at Barbagallo, and that'll be at 6:15 UK time. So that is it for this broadcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. So it is bye from me, Bradley Vanian.
And bye from me.